Hey everybody, welcome back to another Torment team. We're playing Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I'm Nate and I'm joined by Ian and possibly Tom later in the stream, but we'll see. But
Why
anyways,
is it why is it that both you and Cameron have adopted this intro based off of Dr. Nick?
hello everybody.
Yeah, why are we doing this? We
I don't
need to
know.
get to the bottom of this. We need a ruling.
I mean, there are worse characters from The Simpsons to be
I
like
suppose there's
compared
more,
to.
just more problematic ones.
Hidely ho, neighborinos.
I mean, that's like a great character. Give me a break. I would, that man
Yeah.
was successful. You know?
I mean, he's only successful because Homer helped him out and told
The
all
only
of his
problem,
buddies to
the
go to
only
his
problem with
left-handed
Ned
sword.
Flanders is he's a fucking Bible thumper. Apart from that, he's good.
I did everything the Bible says, even the stuff that tells me to do not the other stuff, or whatever
Right.
the fuck he said. Anyway, so I guess last time we left our intrepid hero here, we were imprisoned and we lost our buddy and our sword, but I got my buddy back, but I'm still short one lightsaber.
Swordless, -1 sword.
Yes, indeed. I pull that
You're
out.
a Jedi. You are just a living weapon. You don't need a sword.
Yeah, I'm a human mass accelerator.
Yeah.
If you think about it. All right, so I swung up here last time, I'm pretty sure. And I got hit by a stun round by a bounty hunter or something. I'm fairly certain.
Up here?
Maybe not up here, but I did go up this way. Oh man, my screen is really dark. And I also have a really bright window right next to me. One second, I'm going to close the blinds at least so I can get rid of the glare.
It's a pretty dark room.
Yeah, very, very dark room. But yeah,
this is what happens when you stream from not real time zone.
Yeah, fairy tale land, or where everything is an hour behind.
Yeah, fake world.
Is this just because you want me to be closer in the same time zone as you?
You guys are just liars. Eastern time zone is best time zone. We know this.
Yeah.
Everything else is a facsimile.
Day started earlier. Yeah. All right. So we did this. So there was nothing up there, but I got to go back some other way. I got my map back, so this looks important.
Yeah.
I got to get up here. Ooh. That looks like I got to make my way to the elevator here. Okay. That shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, there was some bounty hunter that I thought I was going to fight, and then I thought I just died, but it's another failed,
well, I mean,
destined fail.
For you, right?
Yeah, if you recall, it was a scripted death from a bounty hunter that got you here in the first place. So.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, I was somewhere else.
Yeah.
All right.
You were on Zepho, I believe. Are you on Zepho or were you on Kashyyyk?
I think I'm on. Yeah, no, I went back to Zepho. There's a lot more going on Zepho. So, I'm gonna pull that. No, I can't pull that.
Plug to plug something into over there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Doot. Okay.
Good work, BD.
Do you think a BD is a pet?
No, he's a buddy. He's a pal.
I guess the better question then is, do you think of pets as pets?
It's got power now.
Thanks, man. Got power now.
I think of my husky as a buddy.
Yeah, exactly. They're friends.
Yeah, I don't really think of them as pets, I guess.
Like, I guess it comes down to like what purpose, I guess, do you think your pet serves? I guess that's not true. But it just feels like there are working dogs that like need to do something, and then there are certain dog breeds that are like designed to lay around and hang out with you.
Well, what if you're like a farmer and you have a border collie? Do you think they treat them as pets or just as like employees?
I mean, that's a tough call.
The good ones treat them as pets, I think.
Yeah, they treat them as friends.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the point of this one then?
Oh.
All right, I don't know what the point of that was, but what do you
It must
do?
be a combination.
I've now taken it upon myself to like make double sure I check random podiums in the middle of a room because I'd waste 20 minutes fucking around and not seeing it.
Yeah, you're a dum-dum.
Yeah, really.
It's okay. But you're good with a lightsaber, so,
Except I don't have a lightsaber right now.
That's true. Now you're
So I'm not really good for anything right now.
You're mostly a dum-dum now.
Yeah.
I like that you didn't jump off that. You just sort of ran off.
I just let it ran. Yeah. Okay, so
It's very lazy.
No, I do need to go. Yeah,
Yeah,
just like that.
the animation of that looks so lazy. Nah, I don't need to do it.
I don't need to finish it. It's fine.
Yeah, we're
Okay, so
good.
this does need to go up somewhere. Aha, okay. I just need to step on it the right way. Alright,
Yo.
that wasn't 20 minutes, but still.
Hear that?
Not bad.
Sounds like someone is home after all.
Oh. This is looking...
It
This is
takes
sounding pretty epic, man.
Sounding intense. Oh, music.
You know it's going to get serious because there's a save point right in front of
It's
it. There's
serious,
like,
does that
you're
mean it's
going to
Poncho
die a lot.
It's serious. Does that mean it's Poncho time?
Yeah, I guess it could be Poncho time if you want
Boss
to
fights
be.
for Poncho? Poncho's for Poncho?
That's funny. All right. Yeah, we can...
Look at my man leveling up and buying a new
Delay combo.
skill right before he goes into what is presumably some sort of dramatic fight.
Yeah. I want to have all my tools at the ready that are possible to have in my
What do you
possession.
think of his forms here, Nate? You approve of his?
No.
No,
Like,
not very good.
I'm sure, like, with the concept of the lightsaber being like omnidirectionally cutting
Kind of
and cut through
breaks
anything, you can probably get away with like a lot. But
Sure.
from like an actual, if it were a physical weapon, no, absolutely not. That makes no fucking sense.
All right, he sucks then. What is this music? This is the music from the beginning.
This is Mongolian throat singing.
Yeah, this is the music from the beginning.
That's
that,
cool.
when we were in the scrapyard.
Oh, I'm a fucking gladiator. Oh, I didn't put the poncho on. Hang on. Let me put some ponchos on.
You didn't put the poncho on? With that's like the balm scene from Seinfeld.
Here, we'll go.
Where did you put the balm on? Where did you put the balm on?
Okay.
And who are you?
Good question.
Baby?
Formo.
Okay. Greasy forearms.
Grease did this.
That is a nickname.
What did Grease do?
I don't know.
So they know he's a Jedi.
Mm-hmm. This is...
I mean, not much. He's not a sword.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I got my thing
There
back!
you go.
I'll give you a show.
Whoa!
Oh, your favorite enemy.
Yep. Oh, fuck.
Those guys explode by the way. You can push them.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Go up? No, I guess.
Whoa!
Whoa. Ooh, I got raising
Oh, I
platform.
gotta hit this guy.
Dude. Oh, nice touch.
Heyo.
Oh. Dude, textures on this dude are good.
Yeah, he's a little slimy.
On ball. Nice. Man, that's like the trick.
Right?
Yeah, man. Got
Oh,
him.
good. I was waiting. I was like, I wonder if these things detonate after a certain time.
Wait, I thought they did. The ones that were in the
Like, they can manually detonate, but if you kill them, like, they explode.
This is
All right.
talking.
Talk to me.
What do we got? More of these
Ah.
guys. Oh, shit. Okay.
Little boys. Dog rats.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, boy. Getting unlocked. Good choice.
There's
Man,
so
those
many.
buddies look good.
Fuck.
Forget the force.
Yeah.
Don't forget
hang
your
on.
pull and your push and your freeze. You got freeze. Freeze helps with shrouds.
Oh, hang on. What's the,
Nice. Oh,
Oh, my God. Fuck. I didn't even see that guy come up behind me. All right. All right. Wow, that is frantic.
boss rush actually.
It's a boss rush?
I mean, basically, yeah. You got to.
Oh, it's just like every enemy type you've seen so far and maybe a couple you
Yeah.
haven't.
I don't know. It's sort of like a skill check. You know, like
Yeah.
that's learned to figure your shit out.
Okay.
No more baby mode.
Yeah. They just throw him his lightsaber again? That's kind of...
I guess that's what's happening here. It's very difficult to tell. And he does not like that.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's insta-hit. I like that. Fuck your super armor.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you just... Oh, you stopped. Nice! Man, that is the trick for him.
Yeah. Also, it's just really satisfying to do.
It is. It's like... Because it really it like bypasses his fucking super armor. He doesn't get to cheat anymore. Alright, you can push, you can pull, and you can... Don't forget, like, the insta-execution that you get from Incidentally, that's what I was saying last time. Why it's my favorite movie.
Yeah, because you can just, like, get over here!
Yeah, it's an insta-kill. So, like, all these other ones, you have to hit them a few times. That gives you a free kill.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
People quickly. I think you also get iframes with it in the animation.
These guys are desyncing just perfectly.
Yeah, like ice climbers. Oh, that guy's got your souls.
Yeah.
What do you think of Cal's technique?
It takes way too fucking long to swing. He's got this unnecessary flourish.
It's a little bit wavy, isn't it?
It's a little faster when you go double.
Yes, the double-bladed is definitely faster. It does less damage.
Yeah.
You hit him once, you'll get your health back, so maybe save him for last.
Yeah.
Or at least until your health.
These guys not hurt each other? Fuck.
It doesn't look like it. Oh, there you go.
I didn't mean to do that, but whatever.
Alright. You're gonna have to do it eventually. Nice!
Doesn't do any damage.
I think that might... it does not showing it there, it might reduce his stamina. This is actually your most hated enemy, this guy.
Oh, I hate the spider thing, just because it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, it's like, he's somehow is like out of your rhythm.
Yeah. His natural cadence is different than my own.
Yeah. I've never really had any problem with this guy. Yeah, see? You got that. He looks very cool with all those lightsabers.
Yeah. I would say glowing wounds are kind of cool, like, no matter what.
Yeah, man. Alright, looking good.
Oof.
Or...
Best is yet to come. Okay.
Yeah.
Who are these people? Like...
I guess they're just like... I guess this is sort of like a take on, like, Wretched Hive of Scum and Villainy kind of shit. You know? Nice. Get fucked.
Interesting.
Null Chance is his name. Can we, guys, can we do better with the names? Can we, like, does every name have to be a pun of some kind, or like...
Right? Or some sort of saying, or...
Yeah, can it just be like a name?
So, speaking of sci-fi names, we saw Dune 2 over the weekend.
Yay! What'd you think?
So, I think it is a very beautiful, elegant, empty shell.
Really? Alright, interesting.
Like, I liked it, don't get me wrong, but, like, having read the books and listened to the audiobooks and listened to a couple of different, like, summations of different people's, like, takes on it, there's so much going on in the book that didn't really get covered. Like, from a physical standpoint of, like, you know, this person went here and did this and said this, like, thing. Yeah, a lot of that, like, gets covered. Like, but I'd say in terms of overall depth, it might be, like 40 to 50% of what actually happens in the book.
You mean like themes and like...
Like themes, inner monologues, motivations, like, for characters, like, or even just, like, factions that play a big part in the universe just didn't get mentioned. Like,
how much of that do you think is because that, you know, the medium of books has more of a advantage in that area?
I mean, some of it, like, yeah, some of it can be, like, shown and not told, but there are certain things that are kind of integral to like even the main characters that they didn't really cover. Like,
Yeah.
okay, do you know who Thufir Hawat is?
No.
Cal,
Do you remember the guy who his eyes would roll back in his head when he did like some big calculations in the first movie?
the Empire overran
Yes,
our
they
He's
showed
in
him,
there
like,
for like
refiner.
2, maybe 3
Saw
scenes,
retreated off-world.
Mhm.
and he's
Some of us
kind of
joined the
like
Wookiee
a
fighters in the
major
forest.
like player in like books 1 and 2, and he is what they call a mentat, and that's basically a human supercomputer. Like one of the whole reasons why spice is a thing is because they don't use machines like
Right.
for calculating
Which is
star
another thing.
jumps.
That's like a whole concept that they just kind of never.
They just
really-
didn't do anything about it, like, you know. And Abby has not like really, she read like the first half of the first book long time ago, and she's like,
Mhm.
I just thought spice was used for space fuel. I had no idea what it actually does.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah,
they're
it's
like,
like-
okay, why are they fighting over this? Why do I
They don't
care?
even- they
Like,
don't- to be fair, like they don't even really even allude to the fact that this is like this is like part of human timeline. Like this is like not a completely fantasy. Like it's future.
it's not a
humans.
galaxy far, far away. It's our
Yeah.
galaxy in the future, and it's the
Right.
it's the evolution of the human race.
Right. So they never like. I agree. They don't do a lot of that sort of world building. They don't give you a lot of that context.
Yeah,
And
it's
in the-
it's truly
in the
just the
film's
Roman
defense-
Empire in space. Like that's
Yeah.
all it really is.
in the film's defense, what I'll say is I do think that to a certain extent, I mean, knowing what I know about the Dune books, those things are dense as fuck.
Oh,
Those
sure.
things are huge. There's a million of them, and they're dense as fuck.
But
And
okay,
There
so
really is, unless they're going to do like a TV series, I don't know that they can do a lot of that stuff justice.
and I'm not expecting all of it, but like mentats weren't even talked about, and they are a big faction
Yeah.
in the entire universe. Paul is being trained to be a mentat. One of his major, like, the reason why he is so important is because he is part mentat, part Bene Gesserit, part Fremen, like Fremen
He's the-
trained.
He's
Like,
the
he is a
one,
psychic.
he's the one dude to rule them all.
Yeah, he is a psychic ninja supercomputer,
Right.
like essentially, and the whole time throughout the movies, both of these movies, are you ever really told what the Kwisatz Haderach is? Why it's important, or is it just
mean,
because he's the
Superficially,
one?
yes, that's what it is. It's a the one story, and that was actually a
Yeah.
criticism that I had with Shuri after we saw the movie together. It's like at its core, it's actually kind of like not only is it just like a Neo the One kind of story, but it's also follows a lot of the tropes of, you know, white boy comes into tribal community and saves the day.
See, and
that kind
here's
of
here's the thing about that. Yes, he's a mighty whitey, as they like to say.
Mhm.
See, the whole point of the Dune series, and it especially kicks this theme off in Book 2, and there's rumors that he's going to be doing Book 2, or people are asking him to, and
Yeah.
he's thinking about it. And if that's going to be the case, like, they didn't cover a whole lot of shit that really, like, will lead into Book 2.
Yeah. Well, I
like,
think part of that,
why are they doing the Kwisatz Haderach? What's the fucking point? What are
I think
his
they were
abilities?
too-
Why is it important?
again, in the film's defense, or at least in Denis Villeneuve's defense, I'll say two things about that. One, I think, like, as far as like the Neo One kind of trope, I actually think they at least put a little twist on it about it being like he at least is aware that he's kind of a liar about this, that he doesn't really believe it, at least at first. You know,
Yeah.
obviously like a political movement, and he's trying to like get revenge at first. So I think that is one wrinkle that is good, but otherwise it is that sort of Neo the One. There's that, which is kind of a shame. But as far as like not setting up future movies, I think part of the reason is because the fact that Dune 2 got made at all is kind of a miracle.
Yeah, like, okay.
Nobody
where
really
credit's
thought
due.
of it.
Yeah, credit where credit's due. Like, did Denis Villeneuve do a fantastic job at physically adapting the books to a visual medium?
Yeah.
Fuck yes, he did. Absolutely. Definitively true. But, like, I feel like there was more substance to the story in the sci-fi miniseries, in the Dune Children of Dune movie.
There you go.
Um,
I mean, I do
because,
think it, you know, if you want the one-to-one sort of, you know, reproduction of the book, I do think they need more screen time.
And so Denis Villeneuve's style is like a 10-minute awesome visual sweeping something or other, and 2-3 lines of dialogue.
Yeah.
Like at the end of it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
there is so much you could be doing with this time. Because like the whole voice that he hears from the desert that's telling him to do such as like arise, awaken, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That could that's some voice that isn't in the books, first of all. And second of all, like could be telling that exposition, that reasoning, the choices he's stuck between. Like there's a device there that just wasn't used like to its full effect. Okay, so in the first of all, spoilers for the books, spoilers for both movies, but as far as anyone who hasn't read the books is concerned and is just watching these two movies because they're the hot new thing, Paul's a fucking liar. Paul says for a movie and a half, for 5 hours straight, that he's like, I can't go south. I don't want to be that guy. They're gonna think I'm too big a deal and I'm gonna have too much power. And then suddenly he goes and trips out on acid, and he's like, I will totally lead these people because I said so. And he fucking lied about what his intentions were. But in the actual books, it's because first of all, they don't use the term. They say holy war only in the movies because of course they should, and I think it's a smart move because in the books they call it the jihad, and that is a divisive term in some political landscape these days.
I mean, they use the word Mahdi too. I mean, they use a whole lot of.
Well, because he's based it a lot on Arabian culture and history, which cool. I'm glad that got some representation because it doesn't get a whole lot of representation in a lot of places. But the whole point was that he sees down into the future a couple different paths, and one of them leads to jihad. And initially, that's what he sees, and he's like, "That is awful. 60-some billion people are going to die if I take this." But the other path is the extinction of the human race on a galactic scale. And he's like, "Fuck."
Yeah,
okay.
See,
I guess maybe if I take power, I can sort of curve the bullet a little bit and make sure it doesn't hit and kill so many people. And so that makes it that rationalizes his choice to seize power and try and do it on his own terms, steer into the skid a little bit. But they don't talk about that at all in any of it.
Well, so I agree that they certainly didn't go into they didn't do a lot of work to build that context, right, for his decision.
Yeah.
However, again, in the film's defense, I want to put out there, first of all, and I said this in the last stream, I'm not even convinced that I really like the story, to be honest. But I do think the degree to which I'm impressed with the film is largely from a masterful filmmaking perspective, in terms of
from the technical standpoint, from the production value, from the practical and CGI.
That I don't think anyone has ever done before, and I think it's going to change the industry in terms of what
the scale of what he has done.
It's a new standard for what impressive visuals and impressive, not just visuals, but also just how do I put this? Building a large story in a large world that has stakes, and telling an epic that has a heart. Because I think that's still there, even if you're like me and are not convinced that the story is 100% there, which we can get into. There's a lot of reasons why I don't think that's why I'm not 100% on the story, but I think from that perspective, it's very impressive. I do think that there is at least some implication in the movie that he is doing this for a larger, greater good, and it's not just because he's Breaking Bad. I did not get the impression that he was just Breaking Bad at the end there. I think he definitely had designs in mind to basically in the movie, what they're trying to convey is that he's trying to basically save the people of the fucking planet. What's the name?
Arrakis,
Arrakis. So, and there's a lot of logical inconsistencies about that, as far as I'm concerned, that don't really add up or make a lot of sense. But whatever, and it's probably explained better in the books. But I think that they at least established some kind of justification. I didn't interpret it as him just breaking bad and being like becoming a villain, but I agree with you that they didn't make it super clear as to what he was really trying to accomplish at the end of the movie and why.
Yeah.
Which is one of my big criticisms. Because at the end of the movie, it's like, okay, but like,
He said he didn't want to.
This movie is not telling me that it's going to go anywhere rewarding for me. Because basically, what's going to happen is we spend 2 episodes here fighting against the Harkonnens, right? Who are despicable people by all accounts. So you root against them, and that's great. And you're rooting for these people, on Arrakis. But at the end of the day, all they're really doing is like trading one dominion for another here. And it's not. I'm not convinced that there's like that it makes a lot of sense. Like they also laid down a few bits about him wanting to get revenge for his dad. They never really like revisited that. It's sort of like an abandoned plot line.
Yeah.
Like he didn't seem like he sort of abandoned any
Like
loyalty that he had to House Atreides for some reason.
Like I kind of like in the books, he does have a bit to mourn, but because his consciousness, his literal like consciousness has expanded beyond the bounds of a normal person or even the Bene Gesserit grandmothers, like Grand Reverend mothers. Like he's like, I do mourn you, but I really can't find that I hate anyone for what they're doing. Like everyone's trying to accomplish their goal, and I see what the greater picture is. You all are going about it the wrong way.
Yeah.
And you're caught up in the minutia, but I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So like his empathy for like even his enemies grows. That's why he kind of like drops the revenge for his father because he's like, no, I get it.
Yeah, and also I think they at least made heavy implications. They didn't say this explicitly, but they made heavy implications that really the change in his character came from Zendaya's character. What's her name?
Johnny,
that's right.
Yeah.
So like that character, like I get that. There's a lot of stuff that you can sort of fill in the blanks on there that makes some sense. So I didn't hate any of that. I just felt like at the end of the day, like, okay, now there's going to be a holy war, and a lot of people are going to die, and like now all these people from Arrakis are going to fight, like
fight the galaxy.
Right, and it's like, okay, but like, to what end? Like, I don't see how we get to a place it's not like Star Wars where it's like literally trying to rehabilitate Darth Vader and like bring him back to the light side. It's not about trying to defeat fascism because it's going to be fascism either way.
Yeah.
Like it's not. I'm not convinced that there's like an end point here that's worth going towards, or that, to your point, that they've established in any effective way that I should be rooting for some reason for Paul.
So
I think I'm supposed to, but I'm not sure that I do.
So when they said they were going to adapt Dune, my first question is, where are they going to stop? Because the series itself, from a like conventional standpoint, is unfinished. Like, the author died before Frank Herbert died before he got a chance to finish all of his books. So it is suspected anyway. There's a theory out there that I've become aware of that I think I kind of like, and it's kind of growing on me, but I haven't fully decided if I'm going to go with that or not. But Dune, the first novel, is a pretty like sci-fi epic sweeping novel in the conventional sense. But you can read that and be done with it, and it's probably fine. Like you're like, that was a read, and I can sort of interpret it how I want. Like it has an ending, it has a definitive ending, but I can feel about it how I wish. But he initially intended to have a trilogy. And so Dune 1 is literally just like part 1 of the whole story, of like his intended story. When they made when they said they're going to make the first Dune movie, I was like, cool. It could be done with 1 if they do it a certain way, but that's not the whole point of the story. In fact, the real point of the story really starts in book 2.
I have 2 ideas about that. First and foremost, just from a practical perspective, I don't think they're going to do more Dune movies. At least I'm not sure that Denis Villeneuve will. Partly because, first and foremost, first of all, nobody saw the first one. until the second one came out.
Mhm.
So the fact that there was a second one at all is a little bit miraculous. The second one did a lot better, so I'm expecting there might be another one. But then you start getting into questions of like Denis Villeneuve is like, it's him and Christopher Nolan right now in the industry, and then there's everybody else in terms of filmmaking,
Mhm.
in terms of being able to command an audience and command a ticket price. Like it's Christopher Nolan, like not even Spielberg or Scorsese are able to do that anymore. Like they're in the twilights of their careers. Spielberg comes out with movies every now and then. He's doing like Netflix shit now. Like it's for the cinema, for moving the medium forward. It's Christopher Nolan and Denis Villeneuve, and never in the history of cinema has that caliber a director ever stuck and done the exact same thing for basically a decade.
Yeah.
Like maybe James Cameron, although he's only done 2 Avatar movies in more than a decade.
He says there's 6 planned.
Right. So it's like
Okay.
he might do that, but he's only done 2, and it's been 12 years. More than that. It's been 15 years, basically.
Yeah.
And there's been 2 movies. So like it seems unlikely to me that someone of the ability and talent of Denis Villeneuve, who can basically make whatever he wants whenever he wants, will want to because in order to finish the Dune series, he will be 70 years old basically by the time he's done.
Yeah.
At best. And I just don't see him wanting to spend basically his career as Mr. Dune. As much as I'm sure he loves Dune,
Yeah.
I'm not sure he has interest in doing nothing but Dune for the next 30 years. So that's that one point. I also, I guess at the end of the day, my problem with the movie itself, the story, and I think this actually is true of the Dune books as well, is that it feels very nihilist. And because
yes and
what
no.
we know about Frank Herbert is that he himself was a nihilist about government in particular.
He has some anarchistic tendencies, but he
was deeply cynical about government.
Unlike, I think it was because he doesn't do the thing that normal sci-fi authors do and impose his views on the book directly. He does have anarchistic tendencies insofar that he's like, yep, the system is broken, it's dumb, it doesn't make any sense. But he never tells you what. He always builds and alludes to things that a better way of doing things is coming. That sort
of feeds into what I'm saying here, because I think, first of all, I think we can agree he is deeply cynical about power, and especially government power, and he makes no distinction between what kind of government versus another. Like it's very clear that he feels just as cynical about democracy power as he does about fascist power, as he does about political power. He's written about that outside of the books as well. So it's pretty clear that that's his position there. And I think what bothers me most about that is less that it is less that he feels that way. Because I feel that way in a lot of different
insofar as that he says, charismatic leadership come to a warning label, bad for your health, as he says.
And there's certainly value to that as an exploratory theme.
Especially nowadays.
And I think there's certainly ways in which people can feel sympathetic to that standpoint. But to your point about how he's not explicitly layering that onto the story, I think that works to the detriment of the story, because it ends up feeling directionless. It ends up feeling like there isn't actually a point being made here, that there isn't a purpose to the story that he's telling. He doesn't have a point to make. But if you know what it feels a little bit like, if you've ever played a Far Cry game.
Far Cry?
So Far Cry games often take place within this political context. And they always it's also a bit like Call of Duty that way, where it takes place in this overtly political context, and they're dealing with these overtly political themes. Yet they're very scared to actually take a position either way. So at the end of the day, it's sort of like you get 2 possible outcomes of that. One, I'm not going to finish the story in any way because that requires me to commit to something specific. Or it's going to be sort of Pollyanna-ish, and I'm going to both sides this and say both sides are kind of right and both sides are kind of wrong. And I don't think either way that's a particularly interesting way of telling the story. Because basically what that does is it takes the one thing that's most powerful from an author away from the author, which is purpose. point of view. Like his point of view, he like alludes to it, but then is like doesn't actually give it to you.
Yeah.
And at that point, that's why at the end of Dune 2, I'm looking at it and thinking, okay, we know that what they're setting up here is this big holy war, but then like, to what end? Like, who are we waiting to see be redeemed here? Like, all we know is that now Paul is being condemned to this life of war and leadership that he didn't want to do. And ostensibly, he will not get to live the simple life on Arrakis with Johnny the way that we know he wants to.
I mean,
And
so
then,
you
and
haven't
to
finished.
what end? Like, what's the mission here? I just don't like. That's why it feels very directionless.
I mean, I guess I could spoil the whole series if you really want to know the cliff
I've
notes.
done Cliff Notes on it, so I have sort of a general idea of where it goes. I don't mind spoilers on this.
Yeah. So the whole point of Paul was that he was a means to an end for the Bene Gesserit, but he was so much more than they intended. He basically can see like into the future of where things are headed, and what it's going to ask of him, and what it's going to ask of humanity.
Powerful.
Yeah, like, but, and at first he was trying to avoid, the mass slaughter of people that didn't believe in the same stuff that his own people did, because why would you want that? But then he saw the alternative, and he's like, well, fuck. And then, as it happened, he was not thrilled with it, but he's like, but if I have to do it, I guess I'm going to have to do it on my own terms for my own motivations. But then, as he, like, gained more, like, prescient power, like his psychic power,
Yeah.
he gained the knowledge of, like, what's it going to take to prepare humanity for, basically, Ragnarok. Like, they call it Kralazek, which is not mentioned anywhere in the movie at all, which I guess is fair because it's not mentioned until book 2 or 3 anyway.
Not particularly relevant to these immediate.
But it's because he figures out what it's gonna like what the destiny is basically asking of him is going to be like people are always saying they want to fight for peace, but it's like, nah, peace like people actually kind of naturally rebel against peace, because if everybody really wanted peace, they wouldn't fight all the time for every reason imaginable. In fact, like, so, but I'm gonna give them what they want. I'm gonna give them peace, or it's gonna like, and for so long that even their descendants' bones are gonna remember it, and it's gonna like ask of him like thousands of years of oppression to make sure that people will never ever ever surrender their cognitive faculties to a charismatic leader again. I feel like this is a giant trap, and he actually walks away from that in the end of book 2. It's his son, Leto II, that takes on that role.
Right, which at the end of the day, that is sort of like, that's getting into like X-Files territory, where it feels like, well, we don't want to wrap this story up because we've got a good thing going here, and like, it's like, let's do another season, even though we don't have any more good ideas, and we've already done the best parts of the story, but we don't want to end it. Like, because again, like I always ask the question, what's the theme, right? A good story needs to have themes. Look at the movie Joe versus the Volcano. It has a couple of themes, right? And like Lord of the Rings is a good example. Lord of the Rings has a couple of really fundamental, simple themes that everything that happens in the story is in service of those themes. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas like, and ultimately, the characters have an arc and they're going someplace, and a lot of the characters are making sacrifices and they suffer. There's a lot of suffering, so it's not like all is hunky-dory, but they're suffering for a reason. They're achieving something. They are giving of themselves for a greater good or a different ending or for their brothers and sisters, something like that. And I just like, at this point in the story right now with Paul, we don't really know what that is. We don't know what his theme is. We don't know what his sacrifice really is. We don't know what he's trying to like punish. If he's trying to punish humanity for their latter-day sins, it's sort of like tending more towards the movie The Road. Have you ever seen that movie?
Yeah, it's very depressing.
It's the most present movie ever made, because all it is hey, the world is awful, and it's only ever going to get more awful, and I know it, and there's nothing that can be done about it. So
Yeah.
enjoy the movie. Like, why are we, what's the purpose then of, like, that's all you would need to tell me. That's everything we need to know about that story. You know, like, there's nothing else to know about that story. There's no lesson there. There's no return on that investment.
Yeah, no, I would say at least some of the themes of the books overall are the decentralization of executive power and why that seems to be imperative, and kind of like thinking, using your own like rationality and common sense to like make your decisions. Find the evolution of like governmental systems and both cultural and I guess like societal, like I don't know. And if it doesn't work, then change it. Don't rely on old systems if like something is brand new is required. Don't go for like the next best fit of something you already know. Do something different.
Yeah, I would hope that if that's what's in the books, that something like that were to make into movies. That's sort of what I'm saying. Like, when you say it's an empty shell, that to the extent that I agree with you, that's where I agree. I feel like it's got this great character narrative, that sort of isn't going anywhere. You know?
Mm-hmm. Well, so, like, it's kind of the same as Foundation, like the book's Foundation, not necessarily the show. But I guess, because I haven't really watched the show continuously. Abby's a big fan of the show, and I think the books as well. But, like, that takes place over, like, thousands and thousands of years. And there's not really one main character. It's kind of like you get a hero for the generation that you're in. I like how they aren't fighting each other at all.
No, man. Look, we know this. These dudes are on the team as long as you're here.
Yeah. Fucking can't stand that shit.
All right.
Hang on. One of them wants to come up here, I'll fight him.
So you can't stand the spitting? Is that what you were saying? Or the fact they don't fight each other?
The fact that they don't fight each other equally as much as they try and fight me. Look at this. They're fucking hanging out. They're broing out. Look at that.
So you don't like that because it's not...
Because it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like... They'd be fighting each other if I wasn't here. Unless,
Can I tell you something,
like, yeah.
I think this is maybe the most nerdy you've ever been on stream.
Probably.
I think it is. Which is, you know, we're nerds here, so that's probably a compliment more than anything else. But, like, let's just cover what we've done. Nate doesn't like the game because the Star Wars game because it's not realistic enough.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like...
Because video games in a video game.
And he doesn't like Dune, the movie, because it's not as good as the book. So okay. Now look, both of your arguments are reasonable. I'm not getting... don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, like, if you take this out of context and, like, you show it to some random dude on the internet, he's going to be like, okay, so nerd wants realism in Star Wars, and he thinks the book is better than the movie. Like, two big tropes.
You know, snore. Big hot take there.
Uh-huh.
But no, that's kind of like, did I like the movie? Yes, I did actually like the movie overall, because with my background knowledge, when something didn't make sense, like, well, when something that wouldn't make sense to somebody who hasn't read the books happens, my brain just filled in the gaps because, like, I know why that's happening. I know what's going on. So, like, I enjoyed it probably more than Abby did.
Interesting.
And she like wanted to enjoy it, but she's like, I don't know what the fuck, why anything happened the way that it did half the time.
Did you see the first one?
Yeah, we watched the first one like 2 days before we went and saw the second one. So it's not like it wasn't fresh in her mind.
Mm-hmm. Well, I also don't know that Dune would be a movie. I can't imagine it would be a movie that she would like anyway. Is she?
I mean,
she into that kind of thing?
So there's a couple of things that I showed her online that like help sum up the first book and like convey the ideas and the intentions. In fact, I'm gonna, like, this isn't a paid ad because he's not paying anybody to do anything for you, but there is a YouTube channel called Quinn's Ideas, formerly known as Ideas of Ice and Fire, because he's also a big Game of Thrones Ice and Fire fan, which, you know, cool, awesome, good for you. And he does a Dune miniseries that is awesome. Oh, okay, this is where I was. And he covers all 6 books. And then he also has gone on to cover like the expanded stuff with Frank Herbert's son and the other guy. And he's just like, yeah, I'm going to cover it because it's Dune and I like Dune, but I got to tell you, these aren't the same. They like both in feel and in quality. But if you ever wanted to get a good summation, but still like, because he can cover a book in like an hour. And he goes through like the entire like Cliff Notes, like, but does some pretty decent voice acting. Where am I going?
Maybe.
While he's kind of like pseudo summarizing, pseudo narrating the book, and it is awesome. Like I think he does a fantastic job. His voice is mesmerizing. You want him to talk more. You can fall asleep to it if you want.
He's the Vati of books.
Basically, he's the Vati of Dune, especially. But he does a bunch of sci-fi and fantasy stuff, like in general. I haven't watched all of it. But that is something he has done very, very well. Like, I'm a big fan of. He also does a lot of lore and theory about it and stuff. He's all like, just nothing but praises for him. So if you get a chance, go check it out. It's very cool, and it helped me appreciate Dune more too. Because like, my dad had those books. Like they were on my bookshelf, and I looked at them for a long time, and I've read through them and whatever, and I thought they were cool. But there was just one more thing. It wasn't Star Wars for me, where Star Wars is like a fucking institution for every kid's, childhood. But now that I've been exposed to what Quinn is doing, I was like, oh, damn, yeah, that's really good. That's really fun.
Yeah.
I can't get up at it. Like, really? I can't just.
Oh no,
okay.
It's not realistic enough.
Yeah, no, it's like. Anyway. So yeah, go check that out. It's good. It'll help you appreciate what the intention was behind those books, and help you kind of see through the unfavorable writing style if you happen to not like Frank Herbert's technique.
Very nice.
Because I know that like some people don't
kinda
like Lord of the Rings because of the way that it's written.
I actually think Lord of the Rings is more digestible than Frank Herbert. Honestly.
Probably, yeah. Actually, truly.
I always felt
I
Frank
agree.
Herbert, and internet, don't at me on this, or at me if you want. I'm not even on X or Twitter, so fuck you. I feel like, and again, this is not me shitting on Dune necessarily, the story, but the writing itself, I always felt like his writing was a little bit self-indulgent.
It certainly gets like way more meta as it goes on.
Yeah. It's like he's writing for himself, not for other people, which is fine. And like it's his right to do that. Like that's totally cool.
I wrote these books. I like them.
It doesn't mean that I have.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No. Is he coming around? Yes, they are. Okay.
All the spiders, dude. This is like hell for you.
Yeah, not a fan.
You need a blaster.
Yeah. Hard to take a good blaster by your side, or whatever the fuck Han says.
I mean, great Jedi are best Jedi, even though they
for sure.
mostly don't exist.
All right. Oh, okay. Well, that's easy to do. Now, at least I found a good way to like insta kill them once they.
Man, yeah, the parry gives you because it up their poise.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So when Paul finds out what he's supposed to do is basically oppress people for so long that they fucking rebel against him, and there's a whole like it's basically taking in human nature into the equation, and like
such a nihilist, cynical story. It's so dark and depressing, and like I guess like at the end of the day, I'm also a fan of cautionary tales. I like a good cautionary tale when it's done right.
Yeah.
But this like not one that takes millennia to complete. Like at some point over those millennia, it's like, okay, dude, get it. Like
yeah.
Well,
so what happens is that like you see Paul, and like you get introduced to the universe through Paul and all the like major like influential characters and the House Atreides and the Harkonnens and whatever. Gets you the lay of the lands of how the old world, how the old system worked. And then in book 3, you get to see the next generation and what they plan to do about it, what they're willing to do that the old generation isn't willing to do. And you get to see how it's like set up to like go down this path. and that like thousands of years long oppression that I'm talking about happens in between books. By book 4, which if you like, that's probably my recommended jumping off point if you want like just one coherent story with that still has characters you care about by the end of it. That like the end of that oppression happens in book 4. It goes from the beginning of it to the end of it in between books.
But like, what?
And so like,
It's like sinners in the hand of an angry God. This is like Wrath of God bullshit, and that's where it's like, it's so dismissive and devaluing of humanity. It's like, you know what? You might be right that, like Frank Herbert, you might be right that the people in this current arrangement are fucking up and they need a swift spiritual kick to the head. You know, like I get, okay, sure.
mm-hmm.
But like the people, the descendants of these people 1,000 years from now don't. Like what? Like at what point is there compassion or empathy, or like again? This gets back to my point about like I want to like Paul, but they're not giving me any.
Paul is a tragic character and a despot tyrant.
Yeah, and they're not giving me.
Though he has sympathetic, he's not a hero.
It's like Anakin. At the end, at least, there's a redemptive arc. The whole story of Star Wars is about Anakin's redemptive arc. It's about the fall and the rise of Anakin Skywalker, right? Which, again, that gives, so the end, when he finally, right before his death, sacrifices himself for his son, basically, it gives the rest of the other 5 episodes in that story a reason to be watched, right? It's a payoff. It's like, we're getting to this point of value for this character where there's a redemption, and there's like, if you like through that whole series, you're like, geez, things just keep getting worse. And by the time you get to Empire, it's dark as fuck. Like there's horrible shit going on, and it takes till the very end of Jedi to get to the point where it's like, this is good. It's, you know what it's like? It's like It's a Wonderful Life, which is basically
you have all this
90
misery
minutes
for like 10 minutes of
misery, or the last 7 or 8 minutes of that movie being glorious, and then but the last 7 or 8 minutes are like, it changes the perspective of the whole first 90 minutes, and it makes the first 90 minutes worth it. You know? Which this movie, this story doesn't seem to want to be doing that. It's sort of like that's why I say that like Herbert's approach to this is very deeply cynical and nihilist in nature, because it's like, I'm going to punish and punish and punish some more until you learn your lesson, and I'm going to punish you a little bit more after that. And then all these characters that we don't particularly like because now they've done all this punishing, they just recede into the background, or they retire, you know, like what was the point of all that? Like the stuff that happened on screen and on the page was kind of fun to watch, but at the end of the day, I'm not feeling like substance there that makes me want to come back to it. You know?
So it's too dark even for you.
Well, here's the thing. Like, you remember you maybe have never seen this movie, but or either version of it, The Manchurian Candidate.
I feel I've seen bits and pieces of it throughout my time, but
it's about it's about
the
a
guy who's like
who,
subtly programmed to kill the president or something, right?
Yeah, basically, right. And then at the end, at least in the remake that Denzel Washington did, at the end of that movie, he basically overcomes it. He's about to do the assassination that he's programmed to do, but it ends up having a happy ending, right? I hated that ending. I thought that was a crappy ending, because what they really should have done was create a cautionary tale about, the insidious nature of, communism, which is what it would have been in the original. Like something to make a point, to say that there is, because at the end of the day, it would have been, because it was basically a commentary on the Iraq War. Is what the second movie. He was an Iraq War vet, and it would have been a cautionary tale against the evils of despotism and fascism. And if you're not careful, that a single solitary person can overcome the virtues of democracy as a result of you not paying attention because the politics have gotten in the way and things like that. So there's a lot of movies that make
seems
that
pretty relevant, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty relevant, right? And it would have been better had he succeeded, and then much like the ending of The Omen, if you've ever seen that, where basically Damien, the son of the devil,
Mhm.
is implied to eventually become president of the United States. Off screen, which is kind of fucked up.
Yep.
The perfect example of this actually is Arlington Road. And internet, if you have not seen Arlington Road with Jeff Bridges and Tim Robbins, you better go out and watch that fucking movie because it is a stunner. It's a spectacular movie.
Mhm.
I won't spoil it here, but the end is certainly not a Hollywood ending that's positive. It's extremely dark. But it's a cautionary tale against the extreme alt-right movement in America and the evils of basically what amounts to people like Randy Weaver from Ruby Ridge fame, or David Koresh from Waco fame. Basically, anybody who was a leading light of the American right-wing movement, which was born largely out of the Ku Klux Klan and neo-Nazism. And it's a cautionary tale for us to be afraid of those people. You know, it's basically telling us that these people are fucking serious and they are dangerous and they can win if you're not careful. Like, that's a cautionary tale.
Mhm.
And like, I don't mind dark. Dark is, you know me, I fucking love dark.
Yeah, I've inherited
love
your
dark.
movie library. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you definitely
dark
like
is
yourself
fun.
some horror and some darkness for
Yeah,
sure.
darker the better. Bring it on, baby. Like, that's why I like The Exorcist so much, because The Exorcist is ultra fucking dark.
Yeah, there's a lot of
People don't know The
implications in the
Exorcist.
greater universe. Yeah.
Yeah, the reason why The Exorcist is scary is because it asks the question: what? Not only what if there is no God, but it also asks
What
if
if it's
there is
only
a
the
what
devil?
what if there is a God, but he doesn't like you? He's
Yeah.
not on your side, right? Like, how
Yeah.
fucked up and dark and scary is that? But anyway, like, you know me, I like dark. I just want it to be dark for a reason. I want it to be, because otherwise it's lazy writing. Otherwise they don't have a point to make. Otherwise it's like,
it goes the way of too much grimdark, where it's just trying to be like too
well, then it's
gritty
just
for
a,
no reason at all.
then it's
Like,
just a collection of a series of events. It's just a series of unfortunate events. It's not. It has no cohesion. It has no through line. It has no reason for being told. That's just me saying, "Hey, I woke up this morning and I stubbed my toe, and then I went to make coffee and all the coffee was gone, and then I went to work and I got fired, and
you
then
just had a bad day.
my dog got run over by a car, and then
Oh, it's a country song. Got it.
yeah, and then I tried to go exercise and I sprained my ankle, and then I went to bed, and the next day I had to wake up and do it all over again." Like, is that an actual story? Is that a narrative?
It sounds
It's
like
a
a bad
collection
day.
of events. It tells you things about what happened. It didn't tell. It answers one question. It says what happened, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't answer any other questions. It doesn't say how even. It doesn't even say, and it doesn't answer the most important question of any story, which is why. Why is always the most important question in any context. Why is what's most important in storytelling. And right now, I'm not sure I understand the why behind Dune. So that's my criticism of Dune primarily. I think it might be part of why you might feel a little bit like it's like an empty shell. So I sort of feel the same way, and that's why I think it's an empty shell. They're not giving me a why just yet. And I think there probably is more of a why in the books. It seems like there's more why maybe there.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot more why.
Movies right away. There's a little bit, but it's not really hitting it for me. Although I will say, at the end of the day, I actually Dune Part 2, not because it's a spectacle. People always use the word spectacle, and it is a spectacle. I think it's incredibly impressive in that way. I like it because it's a beautiful work of art.
Yeah.
In so many different ways. There's so much artistic expression and uniqueness and effort being put into that movie. Everything is done with deliberation and on purpose, and they've thought through so much of it. And it's like, I think it revolutionizes the art of spectacle in film. You know?
Yeah.
Like, imagine if Denis Villeneuve got his hands on a Marvel property.
Oh yeah.
You know? Like, amazing. Like, there's some amazing art that can be done there. And I like what was done in Dune was, from an art perspective, just, I think, revolutionary. So I could watch that movie 1,000 times and still enjoy it because of the artwork in it.
Stim crate should be.
I think that's amazing.
Wait, can you carry more?
Yeah, I'm also not 100% on the story.
Speedy one.
So
Yeah.
I think we're on the same page there.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, yeah, I would definitely want to watch again. Abby wants to watch them again because she's just like, okay, now that I know a few more things, because
Yeah, maybe it's one of those
I explained
where
some stuff. I
repetition
like,
helps.
yeah,
Yeah.
and she watched a couple other things. She's like, okay,
Mhm.
but like, you know, that's not going to be gained by watching the movies no matter what. And she knows
Well,
that. Like,
actually, on some of the comment, well, actually, a lot of the commentary that I heard on these movies was that people didn't really like the first movie, and then in preparation for the second movie, they went back and watched the first movie,
mhm.
and they liked it a lot better the second time around. Like a lot of people like weren't sure why they didn't like it the first time
They
around.
won't stop until
Like,
everyone's wiped out.
you know, they were now that they were thinking about it, they've seen it a couple of times now. It's starting to make more sense, and they're following it better.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. They've had more time to contextualize it, and they've liked it a lot better. So yeah, maybe watching it a second time would improve it potentially.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we plan to do when it comes out on streaming or something.
Yeah.
We'll probably give them both another like back-to-back days.
Yeah.
Because you know, I don't want to sit there both for all of them. I only
Yeah.
really ever do that with Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. Oh.
Yeah, those are excellent marathons. Back to the Future, you can do that with Back to the Future.
Yeah, I can do that with Back to the Future. I'm happy to do that.
I do it with Ghostbusters, but that's only 2 movies.
There
Really.
we go. Okay.
These
feel
things
like
are creepy as fuck.
These things are so creepy, and the fact that I can't kill them bothers me.
Yeah, that's partly why they're creepy. It's just inevitable. Like they're going to get you someday. There's nothing you can do about it. They're like it's basically the equivalent of a Terminator walk.
Yeah.
Those things
You
give
know?
me the creeps.
Thanks.
Whoa, strong words
Oh
coming.
my god,
Fucking.
Enzo.
All right, so I got to drop down. Okay, I see.
Yeah. I like this quilted poncho you're rocking today.
Yeah, you know, I figured I'd switch it up a little bit.
I think it's hot in that.
Maybe.
You got to think Kashyyyk is like humid, right?
At least
jungle.
a temperate climate, at least. Because there's
I
got to
feel
be a
like-
reason for the fur. I'm sure it might get
I was
actually
gonna
pretty
say,
chilly.
yeah, right. So maybe it's not. Maybe it's actually colder because they're covered in fur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think maybe like a temperate rainforest in like the
I
spring
think it's like
or
this
fall.
West, which makes sense, because they're basically Bigfoot.
Yeah, they're Sasquatches. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're basically this is the Pacific Northwest. Oh, dude, did you not take damage?
What? I'm
Not rocket.
pretty sure I took damage.
Oh, boy.
Oof.
Oh, you're gonna let a scout trooper kill you?
No.
Yeah. You just have to ship back it in. Make him pay.
All right. Yeah, definitely want to do that.
Make him hurt, Nate. Fuck. It never gets old, right? It's always
never
good.
gets old. Never
Always
gets
good.
old. Okay,
You
so
can do-
now that
you
we've
can do more
thor-
pushing the stormtroopers off of ledges. That's very satisfying too.
yeah,
You
I
will.
guess I don't do that very much, do I?
No, yeah, you should do more. It's very comical. Always
Always good
rewarding.
Yeah. I wonder if they do the Wilhelm scream.
Boy, I'm gonna let
Is
you
that-
know. I think it's 50-50 that at least one of them does. I would not
Yeah.
be
Valor and wisdom. Okay, I got new parts.
surprised. Lightsaber sleeve.
Got a couple of them.
So when you got this ability to go underwater, did part of you be like, oh shit, there's so much more now to go back and explore?
Yeah. And then also part of me is like, great, I'm gonna have to fight something real scary underwater.
It's like that.
I hate that shit.
That same moment happens in Sekiro.
Yeah.
When you finally get the ability to go underwater, it's like halfway through the game. It's like, oh, what have I missed?
Mm-hmm.
And turns out a lot. There's a lot
lot.
that happens
Gotta
underwater.
go
in
back.
Sekiro.
Yeah. Jeez. Anyway.
So you're one of those people who doesn't like the underwater part of video games?
I mean, some of it can be absolutely awesome, like the water levels in Super Mario 64 or Donkey Kong Country,
Really?
or like some of them, especially the fucking soundtracks, man.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
So the best soundtrack for a water level, and this might be the best soundtrack for any level ever, it's Donkey Kong,
yeah,
right?
Like-
Are we agreed on this?
it's
That
either like I
water
said,
music
it's either Donkey Kong or it's Mario 64. Sunken Ship.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I guess it depends on what mood you're in, because the one for Donkey
Yeah.
Kong underwater is like,
It's
That's a
ethereal,
vibe.
man.
yeah, man, you put that on in the background, you're asleep in 2 seconds.
Yeah, seriously.
Grant
So
Kirk-
yeah, like it's up there. Yeah, Grant Kirkhope he did a pretty good job.
I think he's a goat, man. I think it's him and it's Koji Kondo and probably a couple of people from Final Fantasy. And
Yeah, Tetsuya Nomura or no, yeah, is it Tetsuya Nomura that does it? Yeah, or something like that.
he just retired, right? That's the guy that just was
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to do another. He didn't retire. He's still doing like a song or two on each song.
Yeah,
He
like
used
he's
to
just
do the
taking it
entire
easy.
song.
Yeah, I think he's just like, yeah, somebody else can do it now.
Yeah, I think between like those guys, it's like the goats.
Mm-hmm. So, since we're talking about old games and old stuff we like or don't like, have you seen the new X-Men?
Yes, I have. I've not.
Hi,
I've
Tom.
watched. So I watched the first episode
Do you think
Oh, yeah?
to find out if I was going to like it, and then I'm letting the rest of them build up because I hate this like streaming vibe, this new thing that's in vogue that they have to release one episode a week. I know why they do it. Doesn't
Yeah, it doesn't make
Asian
fucking sense.
thing.
Like
Still hate it.
it's such a cash grab.
Yeah.
Also, hi Tom in the chat.
But anyway, yes, I have. I watched the first episode. What did you think?
Honestly, I was surprised that it is as loyal, shot for shot loyal
Very loyal.
to the opening cinematic.
The opening cinematic. I noticed that it's
I was like,
basically
it is,
identical
like-
with the exception of like a couple of poses, like Gambit's final pose is different.
Yeah,
in one
and
of the
they
new
added a
sequels.
bunch of new people in, which is fine
Yeah,
because
they got
those were getting
Cable.
pretty regular too. Like,
Because they had to have Cable.
yeah, or Bishop.
Yes, sorry, Bishop. Yeah,
Yeah, Cable's from
Um,
even later era.
yeah. But I mean, I like Bishop. I'm glad Bishop's in there.
Mhm.
I hope he ends up because I haven't watched the other episodes. He didn't have a lot to do in the first episode, but I hope he gets more to do.
Yeah, Bishop. Yeah, he does. I've watched
Actually,
the third
isn't
episode
Cable in
now.
this?
Yeah, yes and no.
Because isn't he the kid? Isn't he in Jean Grey's belly?
Yeah, potentially.
Isn't that what's going on here? Am I missing this?
I mean, yeah.
I don't know if
maybe.
there's anyone else in between.
It's too early to say, but like, yes, he should.
I guess
be.
it depends maybe what arc they're going with. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
like,
that's what I'm assuming.
I think so. Like, based on the events of the latest episode, like episode 3 at least, I'm like, yeah, that is for sure. Like, that's who that is.
Yeah, there you go. Cable.
But like, who's to say? I don't. I don't know who's. got
My
what
favorite
plans.
part of the first episode was when Morph turned into Angel.
Yeah.
Fucking cool, man.
And
Fucking
Morph
cool.
got
Deep cut.
buffed, man. Like, he's got everyone's powers that he morphs into, not
Right.
just their likeness.
I really appreciate that they're like doing him some justice because obviously everybody knows like the greatest injustice in
Oh, that's not what I
cartoon
wanted.
comic book history was Morph getting aced out in the first fucking episode
Yeah,
of
first
the original.
two-parter.
Yeah. So like,
Oh, okay, I see.
I think it's cool that they're bringing him back and making him like a proper character. So that's very
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, what I'm guessing, and maybe you can check, guessing that while he has the powers, they're like nerfed.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
probably
I mean-
like surface level powers. Like, he probably was able to fly because he physically had wings.
Right. But like, if he turns into Rogue, he's gonna have like half of her strength, maybe something like that.
Maybe.
Oh, that's the only complaint I had from the show. Honestly, the first episode, the voice of Rogue. It's
Yeah,
too young. It's not
it's too
smoky.
young. Yeah, but and aside from Cyclops' voice actor, who I think died between
Who else
the
is
ending of
there?
the original
Because
and whatever. I
Wolverine
think they-
sounds identical. If that's not the same, I'd be surprised. It's got to be the same guy, right? Wolverine.
yeah, he's just old. Like,
Yeah.
he's just got really old. But then you have Jennifer Hale, who has not aged a day, who is apparently immortal and a Highlander.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
so
remind me to get back to that after we finish talking about it.
Highlander, okay. Are we talking Henry Cavill Highlander?
Okay, so I guess we're going.
I guess we'll do it now. Yeah, whatever.
It occurred to me today because I was thinking about. I've been seeing some discussions online about like movies that should never be remade. right?
Yeah.
That made me start thinking about movies that really definitely should be remade
Yeah.
and redone. And I feel like Highlander is absolutely in that category.
I'm pretty sure there are plans for Henry Cavill to reprise Connor McLeod in a reboot of Highlander. At least there were talks. I don't know if it's still that's the plan, but that was the plan I heard like a few years ago.
Because I don't know if you feel this way, but there are definitely a lot of cult classics from the 80s
Yeah.
that people love and have great fondness for. But if you go
Yeah.
back and watch them today, they're actually not very
Kind of,
good.
but yeah, there's pure nostalgia that's keeping them alive.
Yeah, and I think I'm being generous with the way I'm putting it. I think, like, here's a good example. Arthur.
Arthur, like,
Hang on.
from King Arthur.
yeah, but like, which version are we talking
The
here?
1981 version, whatever the fuck that is. Like, have you watched that anytime recently?
I have not, no. Although you have it on your library, so I probably have access to it.
People love that movie, and I understand why. And it was very early, like, it was very early 80s movie, so
Yeah.
obviously it's not going to be like the most amazing thing in the world. It was in a genre that also was kind of new. Fantasy movies were not like big before that. But nevertheless, with relative to how much people love it, it is one dog shit movie. Boy, is it not a good movie.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because you want it to be better. But now that's a movie where the art actually is pretty good, like costuming, the set design, all that stuff is actually really good.
Yeah.
But the acting and the story, oh boy, that is yowza, woof. That's a movie that I think could get remade and be made well by somebody. And if it was remade well, it'd be fucking dope because there's a lot of good material there. I feel like Highlander is another good example.
Highlander, and in my opinion, Page Master.
Yes. Although
Page-
here's the thing: like, do you want Page Master to be like live action?
Partially.
Because it already was flat.
It was, yeah, at least it started out as live action, then went to animation. But I think it should go to animation, and I do think it should go to handmade animation.
I was gonna say because I feel like any animation that isn't gonna be hand drawn, if it's gonna be computer animation, it's gonna be worse.
Yeah. Like, I don't mind having it, like, maybe having some CGI augmentation a la Titan AE or something like that.
Yeah.
Because, like, that, it has
Can I
its
make an
merits.
amendment to your suggestion?
Sure.
Rather than, and you tell me how you feel about this, rather than a remake of Page Master,
Do you want a sequel with Macaulay
I want
Culkin as a dad now?
sequel. I want a sequel.
I
Because
want a
here's the
sequel with
thing.
Macaulay Culkin as a dad.
They built such a cool world there.
Yeah.
You know,
They
like,
really
I want to
did.
go back there.
And
into
Christopher
that
Lloyd
world.
as Page Master again. Yeah.
Yes. Like, it also had, because it had that live action beginning and ending, it had a very Last Action Hero vibe to it, where, or even more so, Never Ending Story vibe to it.
Yeah,
where
it certainly did. That's
it's
another
just
series
raining
that might.
outside. Like, they don't want to leave. Like, they get cozy inside, the library, and then they disappear into this world.
Uh-huh.
Like, it's very vibey that way.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see more of that style stuff getting made. Obviously, nothing new ever gets made anymore, so I guess it never will happen. But
if you're gonna remake some movies, get some ones that really deserve a second shot.
yeah,
a second go around.
Page Master is a good example where I think there is like a lot more to mine from that universe that they built. That concept of like going into it's basically the C.S. Lewis concept of jumping into different worlds.
Yeah. In anime, they call that an isekai.
Yeah, so like I love that idea, and I think Page Master has such a cool like art concept behind it with the books themselves being alive. Adventure as a character and mystery can be a character, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'd like to see that. I think that would be really cool. I agree. I want a Page Master sequel.
Yeah. I think that'd be great.
More spiders, bro.
All right.
I'll say these spiders are really terrible.
Yeah, they're not for the faint of heart, really. If you have any sort of phobia, they're not doing you any favors.
Yeah, they didn't warn anybody with this shit. You got that parry down.
Yeah, it's coming back to me.
Yeah, you got through that fight just fine. Remember the first time you fought that guy, it was like, or these guys,
Yeah.
it was like,
Especially the albino one.
really, really difficult.
Let's see. Another one I think needs to be remade. Warriors of Virtue. You ever watch that one?
What is that?
So this came out in the time when like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies were big, where it's people in suits like jumping around kicking butt and whatever. It's this kid who like isn't really into the sci-fi. He just likes the old like fantasy and warrior novels like Conan and stuff like that.
Like this one.
And he's all skill. There's no technology involved to give you a crutch. It's whatever. And he gets like ultimately, I'm not gonna like he gets pretty much thrown into a world that is heavily influenced by Chinese mythology and culture, but it's this world that has these like 5 or 6. They're based on the Chinese elements, so it's like the old world Chinese elements. So it's like earth, fire, water, but it's also like wood and metal. And
It's like Pokemon universe.
yeah, kind of, but like it's just these warriors. They're kangaroos. They're like. Do you ever see Tank Girl?
No.
No.
What is that?
Oh, okay. That's an old movie as well. They have mutant kangaroos in that one as well. For a while there, that was the thing.
Mutant kangaroos.
Tom, yes, that is the one where he falls down the swirly drain. Yes. It's not a great movie, like, aside from the fact that they did, another movie that has martial arts with people in costumes kicking butt. And it's a fun kids movie or whatever, but the villain is hilarious. He is over the top, acting at like 12 out of 10, like Tim Curry levels of acting.
I mean, gotta love Tim Curry.
Yeah, exactly. And like this one is just entertaining because you're just like, dude, you are not pulling any punches, as absurd as it is. So there's a little bit of a twisted pleasure in that. But yeah, it's definitely worth another look. Check it out if you're curious. It's a fun romp.
I mean, I think it's like it fits the milieu, right? Because like I don't want a remake of He-Man Master of the Universe.
Yeah.
Why? Because it actually was fucking good.
Yeah.
I don't want a remake of 1990 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Why? Because it was
good.
Whereas Highlander, like, I like the concept and I like elements of it, but at the end of the day, it's just not super well made. And I'd love a well-made version.
Did you watch any of the sequels at all?
I've seen bits and pieces that were on like TV, but I wouldn't be able to tell you what they're from.
Yeah, like I don't really particularly like any of the main movie sequels, but the one that bridges the TV show and the movies together is called Highlander Endgame, and I won't say it's a good movie because it ain't, but it has both of the like main McLeods from the TV and the movies like together fighting this bad guy together. And I was like, that's fun. If you're a fan of the series and the movies, it's got a little bit of everything. It's a good time.
Well, this is like again, they've got elements of it that are kind of hard to fuck up. Like those are always going to be good if they're in the movie, but I just want like the rest of it to be good. Like put a little bit of good, get some decent actors, get a writer, one single writer who has enough to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like get some like competent filmmakers, which I also fully acknowledge these days very hard to do. If they're going to do a remake of anything these days, there's no reason to believe it's going to be any better than the original, because most movies these days, oh boy, they are not good.
They don't do well.
Yeah, I don't think the industry is moving in the direction of more and better. I think they're doing less and worse by and large.
Yeah. They are kind of milking old good stuff for all it's worth.
Yep. They are very risk averse. They have no incentive to come up with new stuff, and they have very little reason to focus on making it good rather than flashy for mass appeal. So, I would love a remake. I say I'd love a remake, but then I contextualize it in today's world, and I think maybe
not.
Yeah, maybe.
It depends on who has a hold of it. If like, I like it, though. I like the idea of Henry Cavill like heading it up because so far he's been doing pretty well on projects that he's involved with.
I generally like Henry Cavill, and that's the thing. I don't really like the Witcher TV series, but the parts that I do like are mostly
having to do with him. Yeah.
That said, I'm not even like a Henry Cavill stan. Like I don't like everything he's ever been in.
Yeah, it's purely like meritocracy based. Like he did a good job, so
yeah, I think he did it. Yeah, and the stuff that he's been in recently, I think he's done a good job. And like if he's in
until
movies,
he otherwise proves otherwise, I'll keep going.
Yeah, exactly. So
what the fuck happened?
But then again, I'm also not like a straight woman or a gay man who would, by definition, have to like Henry Cavill, right? He's like he's hunky.
Just keep failing, Master.
So
possibly.
Yeah, I would probably like him more if I found him sexually.
That is the only way to succeed.
Am I gonna force jump now?
Allow yourself to be weighed down by ego and pretense.
I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking super jump, force jump.
You sound disappointed by this.
No, I remember maybe a stream or two ago where I asked you explicitly, you're like, I don't know. And I'm like, fuck off.
Well, are you just upset that you have to do it first as this little boy with no textures?
Yes, with these original Xbox looking ass.
Fucking PS2 models here. Nice try.
Oh, God.
Dead, immediately dead.
Yeah.
We get back up.
I was just like, oh, okay. I guess if you don't finish that correctly, you die in real life, too. Oh, fuck. I didn't. I forgot I did it. I forgot that I had. Yeah. Okay, so I have a double jump now. Okay.
You sure do.
It's not a super jump, but it is a double jump.
Yes.
You get some height on it, get some distance. That's good.
Yeah, and I said this before anyway, a couple of streams ago, but the world of, or I guess more appropriately, the galaxy of Star Wars is one of the few like fictional ones where a double jump actually makes some sense.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Do we consider what I think it's meant to sort of do a callback to the flip that Luke did in Dagobah in Empire?
Yeah, that doesn't.
Are we considering that a double jump? Because it's not
throw,
really,
power throw. Oh wow, that's cool.
Doesn't look like a double jump to me in Empire. Plus, he's got a puppet strapped to his back.
Yeah.
Doesn't look great.
Howling pull, howling push.
Mass push. Mass push will allow you to push like groups of people off the.
Oh, that's cool. That would
Do
be
you
great.
have that already?
Special attack while switching his lightsaber. Oh, that's cool. I think I have mass push.
Because I think you haven't been using it. You got burst slow.
Grasping pull. Yeah, there's mass push.
Yeah, there you go. Because I think you kind of have to charge it.
Yeah, I have been using it. I just haven't been using it correctly.
Yeah, you need to charge it and do it with intention. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's a lot of fun. That actually is a great way for dealing with crowd control.
Yeah. Slows enemies and recovers a small amount of force.
I love this. This is one of the ones I use all the time.
That's cool. And I might just hold out and for that because that seems like it's a like a dodge.
It is
a parry.
It's a dodge. So basically, what it is, if it's a neutral dodge, so you have to do it neutral. You have to like take your finger off the stick.
Very Zen Master, yeah.
And you have to time it correctly.
Yeah.
And the timing is basically the same as a parry. And if you do that, you get force back. And I think it also slows down slightly. It like there's a little bit of a bullet time effect that happens with it as well.
It is my Star Wars branded Bloodhound Step. Fine.
Yeah, exactly. It is very cool and fun to do. It's very punishing, and if you combine it with that dodge kick, that follow-up kick that you can do,
back once. Yeah,
it's very fun and very disrespectful to your enemies.
Why did he let go? I'm not.
And you are finding the holes in the platforming of this game.
Yeah. Like if you go off the platform on the wrong angle that they don't like you to, you just let go automatically.
I don't know if I've told you this before you came into this, but that is the primary complaint that people had about this game. The platforming was dog water.
Yeah.
So
it's I won't say it's bad. It's just polished, and there's some QA that didn't get run.
Yes. Even if you look at the ropes, you can see that they got polygons in them.
Yes, I can feel the segmentation.
Yeah, they don't even look like real.
That is a monster hunter ass monster right there.
Big boy.
It's hurt.
He didn't look all that
We
happy.
can help it.
Yeah, he's hurt.
That's rough. Okay.
Ooh, treasure.
Pressure. Ooh.
Ooh, like Minoc.
Oop.
These guys should not take more than one lightsaber. They are too strong.
Yeah, they are super
Ooh, yep.
fast and strong. They hit hard.
Yep, they are too strong. Too much
Too
health.
strong. Okay. I see what they're talking about now.
Try again.
Try again.
Nate, there is no try. You know what to do. It's do or do not.
Who would you want your Jedi Master to be?
Okay, the fashionable answer is Qui-Gon, right? Because he probably,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Everyone wants Qui-Gon.
He seems the most fun.
Yeah, because he's going to smoke up with you.
Yeah.
He's gonna,
Oh, absolutely. You better
you know.
believe he's like the
Yeah.
Gandalf of
100%.
Jedi.
So here's the thing, though. He's Gandalf in his crunchiness, in his like granola-ness,
Yes.
right? So I get that, and he's Gandalf the Gray. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's definitely not Gandalf the White. I think Obi-Wan is more Gandalf the White.
This is what I'm saying. So here's the thing about Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan is proven to be the biggest badass in the galaxy. He has beaten Anakin like 4 different times in proper like trying to kill each other fights.
Yeah.
Just because he's smarter than Anakin, right? And he's just more practiced.
He's more
So-
patient.
He's more patient, exactly. So there's that. But he's also got a little bit of that like troublemaker in him, relative to Yoda.
Mhm.
Like Yoda didn't even want to train Luke, but obviously Obi-Wan did. He's willing to fudge the truth a little bit in order to tell on what he needs to hear.
Yeah.
Like he's not like a strict rule follower. He kind of like follows his own path there. So I think Obi-Wan, as far as the ones that we know, is actually kind of God tier, despite what other people think. He's like low key the best one.
Yeah.
Pretty clearly. But then there's, I don't know, how far afield do you want to go? Like, are we limiting it to like the big boys who are part of the Jedi Council? Do we want to like have Dooku in there?
I would say anybody in the main series, like the main series of films.
Because I think there are iterations of Dooku that are really kind of cool. Because ultimately, some of those iterations are really just more about him being a gray Jedi. I think the fact that he like eventually more or less aligns with the Emperor is sort of like condemns him forever.
Yeah, he's not really an apprentice so much as he is kind of a business part, like the lesser of a
he's
business.
definitely in it for
merger.
himself. It's like a means to an end, right? That's
Yeah.
kind of how he's approaching it. But nevertheless, he's like aligning himself with Hitler, so you can't like that's kind of unforgivable.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not
but-
ideal.
But before that, like when he first like defects, like if you look at the Clone Wars, or the which were, I guess there were some episodes in the Clone Wars where Dooku is featured. He's just like he's that guy who's like, you Jedi are fucking stupid, and a more modern approach to this. And,
Yeah.
like he's calling the Jedi. He's like the original rebel in the Jedi Council, which I dig. I dig that. I don't want a Jedi who's too
Stringent.
no. Well, on the other side of that, I don't want one who's too religious.
Okay.
Too pious. I don't want Jedi the pious. And even just too religious. And that's one of the things that I don't like about Qui-Gon. He's like too into this prophecy shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like he's too signed up for the religiosity shit. You know what he is? He is what's the guy's name? From Dune 2.
Stilgar.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Stilgar.
He's Stilgar. And it's like, Stilgar's cool. Stilgar's awesome. You want to be friends with him.
He's a badass. You definitely don't want him.
Yeah, exactly. And you want to get a drink with him. You want him on your team. But do you want him as your Gandalf? I don't think so. What I want is Gandalf the White. That's what I want. I want the guy who is so powerful and so separate and apart from everybody else that he knows more than everybody else.
Mhm.
That he is that he doesn't have any friends because who can be his friend because he doesn't have an equal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And in that sense, I got to be honest, I think that's Yoda.
Yeah.
You know?
He's almost unrelatable. Like,
yeah, and I don't want to invoke this name or this franchise because to me it's dead, and the author is dead. But back when I liked this series, because there was a time when I liked this series, back when I liked Harry Potter,
yeah.
Dumbledore was an awesome character because he was kind of tragic. He was the only thing between him and Voldemort, only thing between the end of the world and Voldemort, Dumbledore, and he had to do it alone.
Yeah.
Well,
Before we continue talking about it, just in case anybody watches this in the future, trans people are like valid, and trans rights are human rights, and
yeah, I need to hasten to add. So
fuck turfs and anti.
So
LGBT stuff.
If you're tuning in late, I predicated this discussion with I don't like this series anymore, and I
feel the same way. I grew up liking it a lot.
But the other thing I will also say is, and this is important to say, fuck J.K. Rowling. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
get the
truly.
fuck out of here. Jesus.
Yeah, you see her calling out like, then fucking come at me.
Yeah, and now
she's fucking do it then.
Now she's like doing anti-Semitism. Like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, dude? Get the fuck out of here. So yeah, that franchise dead to me. She is dead to me. But anyway, like I only call that out because that's like an example of kind of like a Yoda character who is like all these years kind of the only person who's been standing between us and ultimate annihilation. And and doesn't have any friends because he's really just better than everybody else and knows more and is wiser. And like I think he gets a bad rap because people think he's stodgy. I think he just had way more responsibility. He's like Cyclops. People think he's boring, or like Leonardo.
Dude, whoever is in charge of the new X-Men made sure that they fought tooth and nail to make Cyclops cool.
Can I let you know?
Yeah.
Cyclops is fucking cool.
Yeah.
Cyclops is badass. Cyclops in the comics is like he's a fucking fighter, man. He's like he's a man with a cause. Like he
really is. He's really powerful too. Like
very powerful.
And anybody he helps spawn is God, basically God level.
Yeah.
Like he's apparently one step short of that.
Yeah, I think Cyclops has been unfairly maligned as a geek because he wears glasses and
he's a Boy Scout.
And he fights Wolverine, and Wolverine he's like Wolverine's foil, and Wolverine's obviously the bad boy.
Oh yeah, he's
don't get me wrong. I like Wolverine too, but like if Cyclops is due, the man's a man.
Or the Dark Horse, you can go Gambit.
Yeah, and Gambit. I think the thing about Gambit is I feel like everybody loved Gambit because his art style is so badass.
Dude, how cool are his eyes?
They're super cool, and look, the art style from the '90s show is unmatched. It's clearly the coolest looking movie in that series. No doubt about it.
Oh, Tom says Samurai Jack is to be his Jedi Master.
Well,
Dude,
that
what?
That makes sense.
Yeah. So of all the comic goody two-shoe types, he's the best one.
Cool.
Tom. So Tom's
what I
got
like
some
about
Cyclops
Yoda,
appreciation too.
what I like about Yoda is that dude. I just love the line. There is no try. It is do or do not. Like he is not fucking around.
Yeah.
Yoda is part of the not fucking around.
Yoda's like the old school, like you get it done, or you don't.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. He doesn't have, and he's not that super religious dude who's like super pious. He's like,
I'd say he's more of a philosopher than he is like a priest.
Why? Because he's 900 years old and he's why.
Yeah.
What is it, BD?
Yeah.
Like he's seen some shit.
He's certainly done some shit. He's had time to ruminate on all of his failings in the Clone Wars.
Plus, he's got people. Also, they think he's stodgy. It's like, dude, did you see him on Dagobah? Like, what are you talking about? Like
Yeah,
he was hysterical on.
He's
Dagobah.
got nothing else to do but get high.
Yeah,
Like,
that man, exactly. That man is clearly only getting high all the time.
yeah.
He was clearly high as a fucking kite when he filmed the
Want to
first movie.
fucking ride this thing like fucking Avatar?
Indeed.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I think at the end of the day, Yoda's my guy.
Oh, Tom brings
Really
a good point up. He says, "I also like to think that line isn't implying you just have to be successful. You just have to do it and think of yourself as doing it. Like, just get it done. Like, it doesn't have."
Yes, it's not definitely. I totally agree. The way I read that line is not like fascistic in nature. Like, get it right, punk.
Yeah.
It's much more like your mentality about this is wrong.
Yeah, exactly. You can like Tom
because
says. He goes on to say you can still fail, but your mindset
Yes.
of actually doing it is more
it's
important.
because and you get that that's in the subtext in the context of the scene because what it's really about is about the size of the thing.
Dude,
and
this
saying
is some
that
never-ending Falcor shit right now. Are
It's
you
like
seeing
Avatar.
this?
Yeah.
Oh
Listen to
my
the music, too.
god. Yeah, no, it's this Falcor. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
bully. I'm gonna go bring this guy out of this and
Yeah,
go fight
you're
my
flying
bullies in the
away
street.
from the nothing.
Yeah.
Incidentally, that's another 80s fantasy movie that should definitely not be remade. That movie was really good. Does not.
Mhm.
Also, I don't.
Tom, Yoda fails in the prequel trilogy. He fights Sidious and loses in episode 3.
They kind of fight to a draw, right?
Yeah,
which
they
I
kinda fight
guess
to a
at that
draw,
point
which-
is a loss.
Yeah,
Which
that's
is
all.
a
That's
loss.
all. Sidious needed is a draw.
Right. Exactly.
But no, he doesn't really fight anybody in the OG trilogy, the Orig Tridge.
Yeah.
So, oh, cool. What is this?
And also, can I also just say,
Yeah.
and I know nobody likes to hear this, but he was fucking right about Anakin.
Yeah, he was. I mean, really, it's the Duel of Fates that got him.
Yeah. So,
Still
like,
no colors.
you know. And incidentally, he was also right about Luke at the end of Empire.
You think so?
Luke lost at Empire. Han Solo got put in carbonite. Like, he should not have
That's
gone
true.
ultimately to Bespin.
Yeah.
Definitely shouldn't have. Now, of course he did, because he's Luke and he's a fucking self-sacrificing hero. And he did, from that perspective, he made the right call. But from Yoda's perspective, who isn't emotionally invested in these people, he was right. He was right that he was that Luke was going to get fucked up, and Luke got fucked up.
True. All right.
So, like, enough of this, like, Yoda hate. Like, I don't want to hear any more of this revisionist history about Yoda. Yoda is the archetype for the wise old wizard, like the guy who is the mentor and who knows everything and has all the answers. In fact, that's made reference to in the movie Seven, if you've ever seen that movie.
Yeah, I've seen Seven. Wow.
Yeah.
Oof.
He basically criticizes the murderer in that movie. He says does these amazing things. It doesn't make him Yoda.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, Yoda's my guy, I think.
Yoda? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I do that.
Also, like, he's like the ultimate underdog. He's so diminutive. He's a little boy.
He's just a little guy.
And
Doing
he
his
fought
best.
the leader of the Sith Lord, to a fucking draw.
Both
when he
of
was
them. Yeah.
when he was, by the way, basically 900 years old. So, like, come on.
Well, yeah, because he uses Ataru.
Like, imagine if he was in his prime, and also, you know, like a good 5 feet tall.
No need.
Yeah. Oh, Dathomir again.
You hate Dathomir now?
No, I'm just like, oh, right. I fucking forgot. But this actually makes sense because I couldn't jump high enough, so I got my thing now.
Yeah. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, the more I think about this, yeah, Yoda's the man.
Yoda's the man?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Yoda slander on the internet. You guys need to get the fuck out with that shit. Wyatt
Tom
that
says he
noise.
remains a little guy for his whole life, too. He knew he would get free piggyback rides as long as he lived.
Yeah, man. And think about all the people that he mentored. Like, he was the
Dooku?
master for
Kenobi?
all the big boys, you know?
Well, let's see. Dooku was Qui-Gon's apprentice, but Yoda was Dooku's master,
Right.
and then Obi-Wan, kind of by extension, yeah, he was
Yes.
Luke's, and he had some influence with Anakin.
Yeah, I mean, he's the All-Father, you know?
That's true. Dude, you look like a Dark Souls boss. That's it. That's at the
Are
end.
you afraid of him? You think you're going to fight him?
No, I just want to take a quick look around to make sure I didn't miss anything
Then
before I
he looks
left.
like a sweet boy.
Yeah, I'll go.
Oh, no!
Oh, no. Do not hit my sweet bird. Ah, you again. Okay.
All right, the
Found
ninth
you
sister.
again.
You're done hurting this world.
I don't know what's got second sister thinking you're so important. She likes
I don't like
her
this character.
souvenirs, but
A little weird.
I'm not in it for the memories.
It just
and
feels very
honestly,
cartoony.
You're not worth my time.
Yeah.
So let's make this quick.
Interesting. Okay.
Like
so
I
I'm
like
actually-
I like that she's big and like a tank. I think it's just like the horns on the face. You know.
Yeah.
Scared of me.
I don't like the horns on the face. Again, it's back with that like Star Trek forehead thing. I think that's silly. Oh, look at you. You're spawning with a super.
Yeah.
You got your parries on point today.
Getting there.
Don't make Jedi like they used to.
He's not a Jedi, bro.
Toss me one, BD. Almost felt that.
Oh! I love that interrupt for the parry. Alright,
Okay. Am I gonna kill any of these guys for real?
Not bad for trash.
What about for
that's not
Jedi?
over.
Is there a difference?
Alright, here we go.
You gonna do this? Alright.
I say this every time, but I gotta say it again just for the internet's sake. I like that you match it. Very cool.
Oh yeah.
I hate that they use these double-bladed lightsabers to fly in the cartoon.
Come on. Don't be scared.
It's very irritating.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't like that she doesn't have shoes on. You know? It looks funny.
Oh, it did. Okay.
I do like the idea of a Jedi tank. I think that's cool.
Ooh, goddamn.
Help, please.
He's very polite.
Fuck.
He says please.
Help, please.
You just got, like, truck sticked, like, from
Yeah.
old Madden.
Like Madden? Yeah, old
Yeah.
Madden. I would fucking block that. That's bullshit.
Oh!
That's
Jeez.
bullshit. Alright. Let's do this.
That was a good fight, actually. You did very well. First try.
Not bad. I imagine I have like 1 or 2 more good fights and then I'll probably start sucking.
Well, that's the spirit.
Alright, Tom says, I find it hard to believe that there are so many beast-shaped characters that can get a custom-made suit, but no shoes.
Yeah, like and also, wouldn't the Empire just like be kind of xenophobic about her?
There
you
might
think?
be too many races and not enough like anthropomorphic people,
Yeah.
like for that to
Well, I
really
mean,
fly.
If like they're very clearly the visual language in the movies is very clear that the Empire is a bunch of white men. You know,
Mhm.
like, and then obviously the rebels are much like the Fellowship, and it's the same message as in Lord of the Rings, which is the coming together of the races, the free peoples of Middle Earth.
Mhm.
All the different and diverse people coming together to fight against injustice and fascism. Clearly, the Empire, whether they say it or not, clearly has some
Stim here.
undertones of racism and xenophobia.
Well, yeah, because they're fucking space Nazis.
Exactly. So, like, I mean, they are overtly space Nazis. In fact, they are two things. According to George Lucas, they are two things. They are space Nazis, and they are space Americans.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, so I don't know if you've ever seen any of these interviews or read any of these interviews with George Lucas, but he has said multiple times that the iconography used in Star Wars is very much about Nazis. Like you get the helmet, you get the stormtroopers, etc. But the actual story is about Vietnam. It's an allegory for Vietnam. And I can tell you that the rebels are not the Americans.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
you know,
That was nothing.
for the internet boys out there who are like misogynistic about The Last Jedi and shit, and that's the reason why you hate that movie, I'm gonna let you know. Star Wars
Help me, BD.
is very anti-American.
BD, here.
Just so you know, and it's
Well,
not
too,
pro-American.
it's unfortunate it's being exploited like that.
The rebels are explicitly, by the man who created it, noted as basically the Viet Cong in North Vietnamese. So put that in your pipe and smoke.
God, so I am putting up a block and it doesn't fucking matter.
I think your stamina bar might be getting broken.
Maybe.
Because you have one too, right? It's just like Sekiro. You can get broken just like they can.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Tom's in agreement with you there, Ian, with your assessment and your report. He says,
Yeah,
I always
'cause-
thought Star Destroyers kind of resemble aircraft carriers, not just because they are those by function.
It's from a larger perspective. He talks about how it's basically about imperialism and colonialism and people who are being colonized throwing off their oppressors and supporting democracy in favor of imperialism. So, like, that's what it's an allegory for. And anyone who doesn't know that or doesn't want to accept that, well, then you have to pretend that George Lucas didn't write it. Because that's what he wrote, and he wrote it on purpose that way.
That was nothing.
So it was an anti-war movie, and it was in support of the rebels in Vietnam. It was an anti-Vietnam War story with all the trappings of Saturday morning serials. Yeah. Incidentally, it was also a very feminist movie. There's a lot of messaging that happens in Star Wars about why it makes more sense to follow women rather than men, and why women are naturally inherently better and more capable leaders.
BD, I need help.
Here we go. This is the halfway point.
And those are the larger reasons why I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars for all the like basic like stupid shit like lightsabers and X-wings, but I also like it because it got all the right intentions. It speaks in favor of democracy and equality. You know, good shit. Oh, look at that stun, how that fucked up with posture mark.
Yeah. You know what?
Not happening.
Good job. Oh, look at you. I mean, yeah, you got a lot of force. You should use it. Don't forget you got the slowdown one, too. Parried your ass.
What's the
Oh,
Fuck, slick.
fuck.
Doubting yourself?
Nailed it. Nice. Good interrupt. He was about to do his sword. Parry you can. Ooh.
Help, BD.
Last
We're
one.
good. We're good. What is that? Oh,
Okay.
fuck. I had
Jump
to
it.
jump. Okay.
Yep. Yo.
Fuck.
Oh my god.
Come on.
It's so close. Nice. Okay. Oh, that was so clutch. Good dodge. Damn,
God,
she's
are
parrying
you
the
fucking
shit out of you.
serious?
She's parrying.
Ah, God.
Yeah. That was good though.
Ugh.
Damn near beat
yeah.
her.
Yeah, I just fucked up one too many times. Okay. Not bad. Not bad.
Do you want to crank up the difficulty?
No. Why?
Okay. Just thought I'd ask.
What? Why? Like, are you talking about like actually changing the difficulty?
No, the only reason I pointed out is because, like, you can imagine after having done fights like this how frustrating the high, because it really isn't about. They do give them a little more health, but it's really more about tweak
Yeah.
parry windows and frames to a point where like the mechanics don't actually support that frame timing. So it basically makes the tools you have, it kind of breaks them, which is really frustrating. Not very fun. So I bring it up to maybe kind of make your life worse, because that would be funny.
Thanks.
In this context, by the way, your lightsaber looks yellow.
Looks like what?
Looks yellow.
Yeah, I wonder what that's up with that.
I think it's just the lighting out here.
Almost felt that.
I like the idea of a yellow lightsaber if you think of it as gold.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Kind of cool. Which your orange kind of is. Nice.
we go.
All right, halfway. Those berries are going to be your friend. Knock down that poison, man.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, that takes a big chunk. That's like a quarter of your poison.
Yeah, it's an... How I'm gonna get this done. Uh-oh.
Yeah, because at the end there, she was parrying you a lot. Couldn't break her guard. Nice. That was so dirty. Hope at the end. Dude, you're doing great. You got 3 fucking heals. This game is over. Yeah. Working that posture.
Oh.
Too aggro. Too busy.
Yeah, it's alright. I'm doing alright.
Because I was gassing up there.
Oh, that came out sooner than I thought.
Here comes the fairy god.
What do you got? What do you got?
All your shit. Truck stick. Very good. Punish that. Yes. Oh. Yeah, she definitely cranks up the parries here at the end.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Yep. It really forces you to parry her back in order to break her posture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just jump. Yes, sir. That was very Jedi of you.
Chance to surrender.
Oh no. I mean, we got the life lead here. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm flipping the trash up. Oh, great dodge. And the parries. Dodge again. Woo! My man. Dude,
There we go. There we go.
that was an awesome sequence. You did awesome there.
Yeah, that's not
That
bad.
was so good.
Oh, took the hand off.
That Star Wars trope.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It's a pretty like easy target.
It makes, again, begs the question, like, why isn't he using cross guards?
When you've already lost yourself, a limb's easy. You know, I was a Jedi. It'd be fun to bring you in. Watch you crack like the rest of us! Oh,
Right over yet?
Oh.
you. Just wait till the isolation, torture, mutilation, and your breath! I won't let you touch them! You can't stop the Empire!
See, something about the storytelling I don't love. The fact that they're talking about what happened to them. Inquisitors.
Yeah.
They refer to it as torture, isolation, mutilation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't feel like if you were an Inquisitor and you become a true believer that that's how you think.
That's
of
how you think. Yeah.
it. You would think of it as like an education.
Yeah.
You know?
You'd think that it's like for the greater good, for your
Yeah.
understanding.
Yeah.
Nothing is gained without sacrifice, kind of.
Or
Yeah.
at worst, like some kind of.
Tom says she looks like from a Ratchet and Clank villain.
We should get back.
That's
The
great.
Angries are expecting
That's
us.
great.
I just put that on my wish list. I didn't realize that that'd been ported over to PC.
Oh, Ratchet and Clank?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's a good game. That's a good series.
Yeah. That's Insomniac, right?
I think so. Ninth Sister
Yeah, it looks
defeated.
really good. I want to try it.
Fuck yeah. Oh, have you never played it before?
No. Yeah.
Oh, it's a lot of fun.
The latest one is supposed to be great. It's supposed to be fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have fond memories of that
It's
one.
supposed to be beautiful too. And on PC, like I don't know why I haven't played it yet. I think I should absolutely do that.
All right, skill tree. All right, I need precision evade.
It's the one, baby.
Show me what that is. Oh, sweet. Sweet.
You see your
Okay.
force every time you do it.
Oh, I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. I
And
want
you
it.
see you get that little slow there
Yeah,
as well.
that's awesome.
Yeah. It's also just like baller.
Mm.
Because actually, I mentioned this a few streams ago. Like sometimes I like to go into Sekiro boss fights.
Yeah, I
And-
just stand there.
It's sort of like a Nuzlocke, yeah, where you're imposing a limitation, and one of those I like to go in there and never use my directional joystick,
Yeah, I get that.
and that's like when you've arrived as like black belt. You know, you're
Yeah.
like
What's that?
top tier Sekiro abilities when you're doing that shit. Like that's so much fun.
Poncho material.
Pancho.
Joe.
My favorite one, by the way, the one on the bottom right.
Bottom right, this one.
Yeah, I think that's the only one that looks okay. All the rest of them kind of look dopey.
This one's all right. It's a little long.
It's very Star Warsy. The Star Warsy.
I like this
pattern.
one too. That one's all right. I don't mind
Well,
that one's color
The
scheme.
orange one in the bottom middle, that one looks like the most Star Warsy to me because it's got design that looks very 70s.
Bottom middle. This one.
Yeah, the graphic
Yeah.
design one looks very 70s.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, and it's like it's brown and yellow, which are like 70s colors if there ever were 70s colors.
Ooh, love that.
pretty
That's
sexy.
cool.
That red is hot.
Yeah.
I said this on a previous episode though, where like I feel like one of the problems with Star Wars design, modern day Star Wars design, is that they don't lean hard enough into the 70s-ness of it. Like they don't give them 70s haircuts. They don't do the same 70s like color palettes as much as they used to.
Yeah, they're trying to modernize it ever since the prequel trilogy.
Yeah, and I feel like one of the things that people forget about the aesthetic of Star Wars is it's 70s as fuck.
Yeah.
Like early 70s and early 80s, like super. Like it's that stuff just like bleeds through the frames every time you see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. I love it. It's such a art. It's like part of the design. Hey, there's a box down there. In the water.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, okay, I thought this might be a side thing, but that's actually hard progress if we're going that way. Okay, so
back to the water.
Ooh, the water.
You didn't really make a splash there. It didn't feel realistic.
Yeah.
0 out of 10 game.
Trash game.
Mm-hmm. Garbage.
Alliance tank droid.
Oh, I've been thinking about pulling the trigger on Dragon's Dogma, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't really been keeping like track of that game, but I hear it's real.
I wasn't gonna.
Good.
I wasn't gonna, but I'd been looking forward to it, and then the more I heard about it, it seems like it's really good. It just seemed like it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
But like the modding community has been like super aggressive. They've come out really hard, and there's a lot of good mods out for it now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking I might just do a first playthrough modded, man. Fix some of the stuff I don't like about it.
Okay.
Because one of the things I don't like about it, honestly, and this is very me, the Fashion Souls looks Garbo Town. The weapons that they have in this are so bad looking. Most of them. There are some good looking ones, but especially like the kind of weapons that I would want to use, boy, are they bad. They are super dumb.
Okay.
So like, yeah, man, I want that.
I guess Tom's enjoying his playthrough. He's playing it right now. He's currently playing. He says you'd like it as a test of extreme graphics setups, Ian.
Yeah, probably. It's another thing. Because, yeah, the other thing is, like, it doesn't also run very well on most machines.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like my rig could probably chew through it pretty good. But again, there are mods out there that help that too. So, like, modding community is really coming through for this one. And I'm feeling like I might just want to try it.
Hey, man.
The mods are fixing a lot of the stuff
What harm could it do?
$70. $70. Push those fuckers. All right, we got a mission. That's our next quest, Nate.
What?
Our side quest is to find a group of dummies like that and push them all.
Oh, push them. Okay, just giving me a little.
Oh
fuck.
Dude, that was a very soft landing. Usually he attacks.
Really. Oh fuck! I didn't see that coming.
One.
There we go.
Oh. Nice.
Out of my way.
Yeah, you got these guys sorted.
Yeah.
Not a problem anymore.
Tom says, go in with an open mind. It's Shadow of the Colossus climbing with Monster Hunter-sized monsters, but they don't take as long to fight usually.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Like, it seems like I can get through those relatively painlessly. And there's other combat besides just the monsters. I do like the open world. I like the RPG-ishness of it. I do like the combat itself. There is some flashy, fun combat in there, and I do like flashy, fun combat. So, it'll be better than Skyrim.
Tom says there's some humanoid-sized ones as well.
Yeah. So, yeah, I agree, Tom. I won't go in like expecting Dark Souls, but I'll modulate a little bit. But yeah,
You know, this
well,
is just Diet Monster Hunter, right?
yeah, kind of. Only it's going to be single player, right? So I can play
Yeah.
at my own pace, play the way I want to play, by and large. Again, the mods are going to let me do a lot of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The way I want to do it. So that's nice. I'm looking forward to that. You know, I can do my ranger build and like have a cool looking sword and a cool looking bow. You know. I'll play the warfare class so I can wear whatever I want and use multiple weapons.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Come on!
This dude is tuning you up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't believe that guy of all people fucking took me down.
That guy's a zoner, man. He's
Yeah.
keeping you out.
Yeah, he definitely had my number there for a second. Well, I mean, it is 8 o'clock.
You're gonna end it there? You're gonna end on a death and a loss? Woof.
Oh my god, you're killing me, man.
All the way
I'm gonna-
back.
I'm gonna go kill that guy.
Souls run. All right. Nate, instead of like he's upset with this and thinking I'm gonna leave, and then he sees the run back that he has to do, and that somehow inspires him to stay. Like most people will see that run back and are like, "Oh fuck, I'm."
Yeah,
Nate,
no,
nah,
it's
Nate.
not that
Nate is
bad.
personally offended by the run back here.
Not to mention, this might be my chance to do that push.
Oh, I see. All right. I like the way you think. Work it up. Later.
Bye, guys. Thanks for playing.
See, crowd control.
Mission accomplished.
She's done. I'm surprised you didn't like pop an achievement with that. I wonder if you've
Right?
done that all before.
Yeah.
Because that's totally an achievement kind of thing. That's for sure. Oh, nice. Okay, now he's addicted, guys. This is all he's going to do for
Yeah.
the game. Can you get him from here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to see if you could go from here. Look at that dead walker there.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's probably the one I brought in here, right? So at least one of those. That was a
Arrow.
really cool, like, fly in, by the way, when you
It
saw
was
those
cool, right?
walkers in the water.
Yeah, very cool. Very stylish. Look at this dude. Holding onto your shit. Punishment. Oh! Whoa! He teleported on you. Did you like suck him towards you there? Nice! See, that was much more expert.
Mugged. Yeah.
Well done.
No.
You came in with a purpose.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see. Turns that.
We feel better about
turns
that,
on.
Nate?
Yeah.
Good.
I can sleep. I can sleep now. Live with myself.
Look at him with the camera. We want to push.
Bye,
You
guys.
need to forget about the push.
No, I will say it is like it's comical, but I kind of there's a
You just
there's
like
a
the sword.
satisfaction to cutting them down.
I agree. I preach to the choir. I want to do the sword fights. That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I will go till the next like meditation point, and then we can call it good. Although this feels like it's something. Is this something?
You want me to tell you?
No, I'll figure it out. Okay.
That's actually a slide that you cannot walk up.
Oh, okay. So
Those
I gotta
are
go around the other way.
Yeah.
Okie doke.
Hey, you beat a boss tonight. Good job.
Hey, not bad.
Yeah.
Are we
You
on
saved your
track
world-
to be
saved
done,
your
like
bad
on
dude.
time? Do you think?
You mean for like
For Arbitrary.
Arbitrary?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I actually think at this pace you'll probably finish a little bit early.
No kidding. Okay.
Yep.
That's
Yeah, you
cool.
move pretty quick actually. You move quicker than I do. Games. I'm much slower.
Well, yeah, I probably don't catch as much, but
Yeah, you don't explore quite as much, but you get a lot done. You get more done than I would if I was moving at your pace. That's for sure.
I'm also doing it for the show. You know, like I'm for the sake of
Yeah.
moving forward. I do. I
Totally.
probably don't do as much.
Hey, look what you
Oh
did.
fuck! Yeah, and I can get this.
You got Jedi Jumps.
Jump high.
Whoa! Oh,
Hancho, no problem.
never mind. Man, we're waiting on. Oh, that was sick. That was so sick. The way you basically
Up and
crossed
over?
them up our Street Fighters.
Yeah, yeah, for
That
real.
was sick.
That's fun.
Very cool.
All right, you know that? Okay, not that way, but yeah.
Damn.
Oh,
like,
Tom approves too.
You like all of a sudden seem like you know what you're doing with a lightsaber. When did this happen?
You want to know what it is? I have not been playing.
Oh,
I have not been playing any games at all this last week.
see. So you got Elden Ring out of your blood.
It's not that it's out. I just haven't had time. I've been busy.
You haven't had time
stuff.
for Elden Ring to screw you up.
Yeah. I'm not trying to dodge, roll out of stuff. I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's been much better, much cleaner in this episode for sure. That last exchange was fucking dominant. It's like you read that guy's mind about like he was trying to preempt you with that poke right up front, and you just jumped over his ass. That was dope.
Aw, poor Wookiee.
Wookiee died from toxic fumes.
Oh.
The Empire's poisoning the planet.
Fuck the Empire, bro. Like straight up, fuck the Empire. Fuck these guys.
For real. Can I not?
You got
Can I not grab?
There you go.
Okay.
Geometry.
Fuck, it just wouldn't let me do it.
Oh, there's some noise happening, mind you.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I do. They really got the Empire art right. Like this looks
Yeah,
good.
they did do that. Yeah, it's exactly what I expect Empire buildings to look like on the inside.
Yeah, like sort of like
Oh, hey, what's up, man?
on like backwater planets. Like that's what this should look like. Dirty. Whereas like you get on a Star Destroyer or the Death Star and it's like ultra clean. Ooh, flashbangs. Oh boy, truck stick. Nice job. These guys are all dressed like Leia from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
It's like basic bounty hunter uniform. You must always look like you're from cartoons. Oh, I guess this guy looks a little bit like he's from Coruscant.
Woo!
The yellow helmet.
Grand Moff Nohog defeated.
Grand Moff. That must have been like his like
Street name.
He chose that name, you know,
Yeah.
like flexing a little bit.
We got. Oh, fuck off.
Whoa. 'Cause I'm willing to bet not actually a Grand Moff.
You know what? I have a feeling you might be right.
Yeah. Something tells me. Like this gravity gun on his arm pushes you away. Somebody else think that shield looks like a barrel from Donkey Kong?
You know what?
Or like one of those barrel drinks, those juice barrel drinks that we got when we were kids.
Yo, oh my god, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Ah, now I'm thirsty for juice. Alright, where am I going? Where's my ultimate goal? Okay, I do want to head back this way, okay.
Yeah. You're not that far. I mean, you
Well
take
then
that.
shit, maybe I'll just get to the ship and we'll call it good.
Yeah, last time you were here, you got ambushed by a ATSD.
Yeah, and I let the Wookiee die, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Sad
Let
day.
Man, this skin for BD1 is awesome.
I do like it.
He looks badass. He looks like an Imperial droid.
This one needs to be red, and this one needs to be purple, and the other needs to have a green one. Need to have tinfoil lids.
He looks like an Imperial droid.
Yeah, he does.
Cool.
Oh man, I'm like right here. Okay. Where'd everybody go?
Gone.
What?
Vanished. You liberated the planet, bro.
I feel like there should be people here though.
They evacuated.
Is that the case?
I think so.
Okay. Uvo Adnan. Someone tried doing their homework 5 minutes before class. Thanks, Tom.
It's
Cordova
I mean,
believed
look.
the key to the vault is on
I'll be
Dathomir.
honest. I think I like Uvo Adnan better than Sork Tormo
Things are bad down
Yeah.
there. Empires
or
everywhere.
Savaggio Press.
Ultrilla.
Or what was the one that was in this episode?
The Ninth Sister. I don't know her name.
No, it was the
I
name
defeated
of
the
another
Ninth Sister.
one. It was one of the bounty hunters. in
Oh,
that
yeah, the one that got me in the ring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, really bad.
Mhm.
really dumb.
I think one of my favorite
when I was
parodies
captured by the
was in
Empire,
Futurama, where they do a
resisted.
Civil War reenactment in the
I swore
park,
to myself
except
that I
it's
would
the
die
Sith
before I
Wars,
could talk.
basically. And the Confederates are all Sith Lords,
Dark
and
Jedi
they have Darth Erderer.
He was worse than any
Great.
nightmare
That's my
I've
favorite.
ever imagined, and I still fought.
Ugh.
But in the
Grease?
end, I came apart,
That's too much salt, bro.
and I gave them Trilla.
I didn't even notice.
And I know
Grease?
there's nothing
That's
I can do to
hilarious.
make that right.
You're gonna Grease.
But Cal, there's still
Grease.
a chance we can save the others on the
Bro.
holocron.
What if he's like part slug and he just...
The Night
Oh,
Sister
my
said
man.
something about becoming an Inquisitor
You
like
gotta stop,
like it's inevitable.
dude.
But you went through the same thing she did, and you didn't join them.
Grease, bro.
It's okay, Seer.
My man.
That is hilarious.
Holocron.
It's not gonna be good.
It's not going to be good.
Hey, get your lasers off my lunch.
He's like trying to help you, Grease.
Yeah, it's like, dude,
fucked
your
up
sodium
again.
intake is way too high.
Yeah, man. Saving your life. You're not
Hilarious.
that young anymore. Oh wait, go back. Go
What?
back to the plants.
Okay. These plants?
Look at that plant on the right, the green one.
Yeah. That's a bonsai tree.
Yeah. Focus in on it.
This worked his magic.
Oh, I got 2 more.
Bon Shear. This is the one you got from
Yeah.
Sheik. And when I asked you what kind of tree, what kind of plant do you think this looks
Oh,
like, you said bonsai, tree.
Bonsai tree. Yeah. Fucking called it. You gotta
Nice job.
understand, I have Jedi powers.
I mean, look,
I
you
can
know
see
how
things
this
before
works.
they
You know the
happen.
language of Star Wars. It makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Do we want to end with some fashion souls, or you just want to sit?
Yeah, let's double check. I figured I really stripped down my design here on my
Yeah, I like this better, honestly.
Yeah.
Except for the colors. I was digging the
the brass or whatever.
brass.
Gold.
But I like small and compact with the lightsaber. It's like kind of
Yeah.
the point.
I like a little bit of a dash of ornamentation, just to be like, yeah, it's not just your average.
We talked about this too, and I feel like my favorite aesthetic from Star
wood,
Wars
that's
anyway
wood.
is the shit kicker look.
Yeah.
Like, used future shit kicker look
Mhm.
from the original trilogy. Like, I think that's the best look in Star Wars.
Yeah, where it's just sort of slapped together, and hopefully this will do.
Yeah. I'm not big on Clone Wars era. I'm not big on High Republic.
Yeah.
You know, or even Old Republic. I
I
like
do like the leather wraps here
used
at the end.
future. Yeah.
Like
Yes,
that's
that one makes
super
sense.
ostentatious. Look at
Yeah,
that.
don't like that at all.
That's just like I liked Luke's second
Yeah, I mean that's
lightsaber.
Luke Return of the Jedi. Yeah.
That one's too nubby.
Yeah, it's a little nubby. That is not bad. I like. Oh, that's my.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah, that's not bad. I like that too.
That's you know what that is.
Hmm.
That's the cup of a carpenter.
Oh my god.
That's what that is.
See, like
That's
that's a
the
dash
good
of
bit.
style right there.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the
not a
cup of a
lot,
carpenter.
just enough.
That's any out there in the internet. Anybody who gets that
I'm gonna go blue.
reference,
I'm gonna go
you
blue.
get 1,000 points.
You get 1,000 channel points.
You get 1,000 channel points, and you get to have a date with Tom.
That's funny.
Yep.
Just signing his ass up.
Yep.
All right. All right. Well, let's take a look at the map here. Where am I going next? And I will see what's going on.
We could head back to
You gotta decide where you're
Okay.
gonna go next.
Might be more
And then we can
discover
sign
there
off.
with your improved skills.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Maybe,
We're on Dathomir.
so Dathmir's the story. Maybe I'll do some exploring
Do some.
on my own.
Yeah, you want to do some Metroiding?
Yeah, do some exploring next time. We'll just see. Bogano, Zepho, I was just there, so that's... I've already explored Zepho with the skills I currently have further.
Yeah.
I just came back here, did
You
that.
didn't have double jump?
I didn't have double jump in Zepho?
No, you just got it here at Kashyyyk.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So,
Yeah.
but definitely Bogano. Okay.
Yeah, maybe start from the beginning. Start from Bogano and work your way back.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be the case. That might be the ticket.
Cool.
All right. We'll call it here for the night. So, thank you all for hanging out with us, either now or in the future. And we will be back next time. We will go do some real Metroiding.
Put a note in the comments. Question of the day. Somebody tell me what Cup of a Carpenter is in reference to.
Oh,
I want somebody
yeah.
to get those points. And I want Tom to go on a date with you.
Tom, you've speak now, forever hold your peace in the next 5 seconds. 5,
Yeah, you have
4,
no choice.
3, 2, 1.
You have no choice.
Nothing. You're already locked in. So,
Yep.
all right. With Tom's fate sealed and our destination chosen, we will catch you all next time. We appreciate you hanging out. Bye, guys.
Later.